Yes. We are back for a Everton versus Liverpool Merseyside derby at Anfield, and it's a preview show that we're going to be doing today. I know it's halftime at the Emirates currently. 1-0 is the score. Um, their their midfielder turned striker has scored for them, Moreno,
Him again.
and it is, I believe, still 1-0 in at Manchester United as well. I can double check for you on that score. Last I saw, it was 1-0 in that game, and Forest is up in that game. Yes, it is 1-0 with about 30. They're about 37 minutes in to that game, and we have a 1-0 Forest lead, and unfortunately, a 1-0 Arsenal lead currently, but still a lot of time to play. Still a lot of time to go. I've also got my eye on the Real Madrid Real Sociedad game. This kind of interests me a little bit. I got that on in the background as well. But we are here to talk about the Everton versus Liverpool game. And we have with us Brian, we have with us also Lee, and we also have with us Nolante today. How are you doing, Brian?
Very well, yeah. Good goal that for Forest. Classic one you like to see. Man United going up for a corner, messing it up, and a Forest lad runs the length of the pitch and sticks it into the corner. You love to see it.
Yeah.
And he's an ex-United man as well, Anthony Elanga, the ex-United player. So
Yeah.
Bonus.
And the goal for Arsenal, they're showing on a replay right now, was kind of a kind of bootleg style goal. It ended up being deflected off of his off of like the thigh of the of I don't know who that was, but the Fulham defender, and then that little deflection was enough to get it to go past Leno in net. So it is what it is. Lee, how are you doing today?
Excellent. I want there to be no mercy for Everton tomorrow. No mercy on Merseyside.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. Good. Nolante is with us as well. See if Nolante is here. Yep. Nolante, how are you doing?
Yeah, all good. And I think we need, as fans, we need to stop focusing on what Arsenal do and focus on us. It's really down to us, man. Whether they win or not, it doesn't really matter. It's down to us.
True
And
words have spoken, mate.
yeah, and I need to receive a response for these players. I really do, because the last 2 weeks was terrible. So these players need to fix up, and the manager, point blank.
Okay. That's one way of looking at it. I understand your perspective. I understand that perspective. I guess the reason why I got I've got all the games, or I've been flipping through all these different games. I mean, I would just like to see. I would just like to see what Real Madrid has in the tank. To tell you the truth, Endrick is starting up top for them. Vinicius Jr., Jude, Rodrigo, but got my own on Kubo. Zubimendi's in this game as well. And with the United game, obviously it's always good to see United lose, so that's why I have that game on as well, flipping through. And then I understand your perspective, but the sooner we can start getting we continue to win our games, great, but the sooner we can get that guard of honor, that's the reason why I'm looking at the Arsenal game. I'm not worried about them sneaking up on us. I just would just like to have a few more games of a guard of honor if we can possibly have it. But again, it is also, it's 1-0. I forgot to say, in the Wolves West Ham game, for all those that are wondering about that game, just in case. But big up to Red Armchair Supporter. Big up to Bonkers in the house. It's good to see you guys. This is Everton's going to roll in on a 9-match unbeaten run, clinging to form and set pieces like a lifeline. Is Everton? We spoke about the set pieces yesterday. And while we're looking to bounce back from obviously the Champions League, I guess you could certainly say heartbreak, and that Caribou Cup final, I would say it wasn't heartbreak. It was more like it's just it leaves me lost for words. Actually, it's like a little bit of it was definitely something that was depressing, to say the least. But it's big, it's fierce, and it'll be historic. Actually, this game will be very historic for a couple of different reasons. Because most notably, I don't know if you guys know why tomorrow's game is possibly historic. I'll give you a 2-part style trivia quiz then. Oh wow!
Oh, someone said something the other. Yeah, I heard one of those things today. There's this like, what the fuck was it? I can't think what it was. I don't know. I just texted you or something there. Message Bernie sent me. So reasons why it's a historic game tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If not, I can tell you why.
There's a milestone. I think there's a milestone.
There's a big milestone. There's a big milestone for us. It's a big milestone.
Yeah, well, I've definitely heard this week.
If and when we win, a win would be historic because Liverpool would it would be our 100th win against Everton.
Yeah, and it was 100 something,
making us only the 5th team in English league history to notch a century of wins over a single opponent.
The wins are always historic around here in the derby, mate. Anytime, anytime of any season, like it's always a historic event to beat Everton in the derby. Very pleasurable. Been too many draws of late. Can't be having that. We've actually been beat a few times, which is unpalatable also. Much do better. They owe us a little bit of a performance tomorrow. I don't think I'm going so too far in saying that. They owe us a decent performance tomorrow after the shock to the system we've all had before the international break. They need to brighten our faces up, don't they? Brighten our worlds up with the performance, and do Everton. Get the points on the board. Remind us all that we're headed for the title and that it doesn't matter what Arsenal do because we're winning. And get the show on the road is what we need to do, isn't it?
Yeah. If you do catch me every once in a while, kind of looking out the side of my eye here, it's speak only because, excuse me, only because on our side of the pond, during halftime during halftime, depending on which broadcast system is being used by the company that broadcasts here, they show kind of like a featurette. Okay. Excuse me. And what I was saying is they show a featurette. And normally what's really, really weird about the featurettes here in America is they will normally, like if you're watching a Liverpool game, they'll do a featurette of like Manchester United or Manchester City of a player or something along those lines. And you got to like suffer through, the halftime. They don't give halftime, analysis. They'll just give like some, pre-recorded piece on a player or on a team or something. And because it is Arsenal versus Fulham today, they decided to play a Liverpool featurette. So it was different. Usually, you don't get to see many of the featurettes there, and they did a special on none other than Mr. Nunez. So it was very interesting to see and hear what he had to say. But all the same, we are focused in on this, possibly on some Nunez action tomorrow too. But again, it's 100 wins, a possibility of 100 wins tomorrow, and that is really, really important and symbolic. We've done it once before. Now, when it says 5 teams to have actually done it before, we're one of the 5 teams. We're one of actually the 5 times it's happened before. So it is unique, but I think, but we will, if we do it tomorrow by going 100 games up, we will be joining as not only will we be the 5th, but it will be our 2nd time being in the list. I don't know. You guys want to take a guess on to who would be on that list with us? The other 2 teams, possibly. Excuse me. No, yes. Any guesses?
Okay. Well, Manchester United and Arsenal.
Ding, ding, ding. Very well done. Exactly. Arsenal have done it twice, and Manchester United have done it once. And, what's that?
Interesting.
Yeah. How about another quick little trivia then? Do you know who is the team we have already gone over the century mark on?
Hang on, there must be a few.
There's only one.
This is it against Everton, and there must be others.
Well, if we do, tomorrow will be the chance to do it against Everton. We'll be 100 wins if we win tomorrow. There's one other team that we've already gotten over the 100, over the century mark.
At Anfield. Wins at Anfield, you're talking?
No, just wins.
Just wins.
Wins in total.
Yeah. No guesses.
No, hang on. I've got a rough idea.
West Ham.
No. Might be. Is it Aston Villa?
What'd you say?
Villa? Is it Aston Villa?
It would be Villa.
Yeah.
100 times.
I think maybe you saw it in the. Maybe I hope you didn't just steal that from the chat, but
No, mate. I haven't looked at the chat. I was just getting that from. I knew it roughly, and I just needed a minute to snatch it up in my mind. I had one other name there, but like as well as Villa, but I opted for Villa because I remember it. Yeah, we beat them loads, Villa.
Yeah.
Loads and loads and loads.
103 times we've beaten Villa. 103 wins we have against Villa.
Yeah, despite them being on division for quite a long time, and so relatively, I've racked all them up against Villa over the years.
Yeah. Arsenal have 100 wins over Manchester City. Manchester United have 106 wins over Villa as well. Villa apparently is a little bit of a punching bag has been a little bit of a punching bag for Villa. What's that?
That's fun. I would never have thought that about Villa. I mean, they're usually.
I thought they're pretty good. I thought, yeah.
Yeah, they're usually a strong enough team.
We went through a bad drought of derby wins in the mid to late 90s, and they were the most the ones that savoured the most, like the derby wins after that drought, because we went seasons and seasons without winning a derby. We got a couple of draws, but more often than not, we got our arse handed to us at Goodison. They were lean years in the derby then. But we corrected it, and then started pounding them, quite rightly again. But yeah, they were horrible years. Then when we couldn't win a derby for quite a few seasons.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was surprising. Like Brian said, I wasn't expecting Villa to be on the list twice. But if we beat Everton tomorrow as well, we will have put Everton on the list twice as well, which is kind of sad for Everton. Everton has lost the most times to the team playing currently, Arsenal. 111 times they've lost to Arsenal. And we beat them tomorrow, they'll join the list for a second time. And Partey, is he gonna get a Partey is so dirty sometimes. But yeah, that's what we're gonna have up for tomorrow. But it could be something to see. It's gonna be an interesting one to put in the history books if we can get the win. It's something that obviously we do quite a bit of, but there's a lot of draws mixed in there too. So, do you still get nervous a little bit before these Merseyside derbies, or is it just you, or does the excitement like this? You get this?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's a bit of both for me. Living in the city, they're always big and it's always nervy because you don't want to lose them. Obviously, you don't want to lose them as a local. And yeah, that crap from Evertonians.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a bit nervy because they're never easy games. Never in my lifetime have they been easy games. Even now, when Everton's struggling compared to what they used to be, derbies just aren't easy games and never should they be. Like, the derby's easy, then you've got a crap rival. But Everton have been a good rival over the years. They've always given us a good game. Okay, we've given them a few tannins here and there. The one that saw Mohamed Salah off was a good one when Origi scored twice. But they've always given us a good game. They're never easy, our derbies, never.
Okay.
I mean, even that one where we tanned Marco Silva's side and got him the sack, I think it was like 0-0 till nearly half time, wasn't it? That one. You know what I mean? It was in the balance like for the whole half before we battered them.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it must be tough because I know your dad is a Evertonian, so
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't mind enjoying the wins when they come. I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh God, he's always lamenting how piss poor Everton are. We can't score the goal, we can't score the bloody goal. Rubbish. This is complaint with Everton that they can't score enough. But they have scored more under Moyes. They scored a few more.
Yeah. There was a question from Kevin here too. It's a little. I guess it might be a little off topic, but can you name 3 players that have played for 3 Reds who have played for Villa?
Oh, I've already put in my answer. There's already 6. There's already 2 answers.
Already put your answers in.
There's already there's 9 in there now. Yeah.
Okay.
I put my 3 with Staunton, Saunders, and Houghton were the first 3 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bonkers got Sissoko, Milner,
James,
Staunton, another Benteke. So that's already 7 there for you, Kev. Oh, that was Kev himself. Sorry.
Yeah, David James went to Villa, I think, as well.
Oh, there's loads.
Who?
Loads of players play for
Yeah,
Villa.
there's loads, isn't there? Played for both clubs.
We got say,
from
I guess
Villa.
mine's are a little bit more recent, but
we haven't bought anyone from Villa for a long
Brad
time.
Friedel, though. Brad Friedel played for both, I think.
Yeah. I was going to put him in, but I put Ray Houghton instead.
Friedel played for Villa too.
Yeah, he did. He did. I was going to put him in, but I put in Houghton instead.
Randy put
Houghton instead.
Pepe. Okay.
Sissoko's a great shout out. Bonkers put in Sissoko. That's a great.
The always. That's a good call. That's a good shout. I was gonna say also Milner.
Yeah. Kevin put him in.
And didn't Warnock play for them too? Or no? Am I wrong?
Yeah, he did.
No, yeah, he might have.
Steve Warnock.
Warnock played for. Yeah. Good shot. So there's your three. There's three. There's plenty of threes.
We've nearly got full 11 here, to be honest with you.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. You almost saw me like rejoice. Our Fulham almost scored. And Jedi almost scored, actually. So when will Abdul's asking, when will the new Adidas Liverpool FC shirt be announced? Have they leaked the official shirt online? There's been a bunch of different shirts that have been leaked. Now, I don't know if they're necessarily the shirt that will be the final kit, to be honest with you.
I've hardly seen it, the new one. I Googled it, said new kit, and it just give me like this one that we've got now. We can give me a new one. Holding back on images of it.
Yeah. There have been a couple of different variations of the kit that have been put out there. I don't know when they're going to announce them, to tell you the truth. I mean, it's difficult to announce a kit before, like, when you're not even, quote unquote, you're not even the official kit maker just yet. So
the deal itself, though, the deal has been.
It's been finished.
Confirmed. Like, it is happening. I don't know. But it's normally the last day of the season, isn't it? I know the leagues come out later, but normally last day of the season they wear the next season's kit if they have it. They've started doing that's the thing they've started doing recently, isn't it? Where like the last day of the season they'll be wearing the next season's kit. I've noticed that happening a few times now. So,
but I wonder if that would be the case only if like it's the same kit maker. Maybe I'd be mad if
probably.
If I was the kit maker and I got like 99%.
Yeah, no, that'll make sense.
Except for the last.
That makes sense.
What's that all about?
Yeah, no, it's easy to if it's Nike next year, it's no problem,
Right.
wearing next year's Nike. But obviously, if it's it's probably won't be actually. Now that you say it, yeah.
Arsenal scored there. I know I asked if you get nervous for these games. I guess only nervous because like it's normally a tough game. It's not always a game that we end up seeing a lot. You don't see a lot of scoring in these games for the most part. It's usually very tough. It can be kind of not only tough, it can sometimes be kind of brutal. There is another historic mark that could be made tomorrow as well. And I don't mean as in it is weird that Trent won if he does, hold true to his to what the reports are and leave. He will have abruptly finished his last derby, with a draw. But Salah is going to be partaking tomorrow. This could be Salah's also last derby, possibly. But there's also the opportunity for Salah to do some historic measures, and it could be tomorrow where he surpasses Stevie G's mark of goals against Everton, as in like the all-time goal scorers against Everton. He would pass Stevie G if he were to score tomorrow. What are your thoughts on that? Does that what are your thoughts on the whole Salah situation, him taking the pictures and stuff? Do you think it's do you think he's like this is like his like final go around, or Do you think that Salah is going to, and he's going to put a little extra effort into this one, or is this like just another derby for him? I'll ask that of Nalante if he's available.
That's your answer.
I just hope that all the players want to.
That's one way to give an answer.
I hope all the players 1 to 11 have a good game and feel that they've got a performance to give us.
Okay.
You back?
Yeah, you back?
Yeah, no, the phone just reset. Sorry. Is it his last? At this point, I just who knows. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Who knows? I'm getting to the point where I'm just tired of seeing all these points. He's staying. He's closer. He's agreed to this. It is what it is. It's the world of speculation. I'm tired. I just rather them just. I'm at the point now. I'd rather them just to say, listen, I'm staying, sign the contract, or just say I'm leaving, just for clarity, because I'm just getting a bit fed up now. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay. Well, are you nervous about tomorrow, or are you just excited to get back to seeing the team play?
I wouldn't say nervous, but I'm just looking closely to see a reaction for this team because they let us down in the past 2 games, and obviously I don't want to go back to old topics. And there's a number of things, rotation and stuff like that. I would like some changes to be made to the team because I think the team needs a bit freshen up. But again, I don't think Slot will, so we see. I just want to see a reaction and for them to win the game. That's what I want to see. That's the 2 things I'm looking at, because if we do draw points, and again, it's not the end of the world, but again, the pressure will mount on these players, and how far we've come, it will just be a little bit irritating. And obviously, we know what happened, the last minute goal, them celebrating wild scenes like the Wonder World Cup, all that. If the players don't get up for this now and do the business, then I'll be very worried in what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. So,
okay. How about for you, Brian?
Will it be Salah's last ever Merseyside derby? Oof. I mean, the closer you get to D-Day, then if you're going to work every day and your contract is up, and you're tinkering away at what you do, and you're kind of always expecting to see the boss walk around and say, "Come on, will you come up to the office? Got it. We're going to talk about your new contract." Or you're sitting there at your desk, you're expecting to get a call from HR saying, "Go down and meet the management tomorrow," because you're coming up to the end of your contract. But if you're just sitting there and you don't see the manager come along and tap you on the shoulder and say, we'll have a chat tomorrow, I mean, what are you going to be thinking? So it's not. There's word that there's an offer on the table, like there was for Trent. There's conflictions over what they consider time, contract length. I don't know if that's true or not, but that seems to be one story, is that there's a contract there from if he wants it, but it's not as long as the deal that he wants. I really, like I was saying the other night, it's like when it's a year out, I'm like, look, if they haven't signed with a year left on their deal, then they're leaving. Then it's like, well, look, we're getting into it. It's like, well, it sounds like this 6 months, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, maybe they are going to stay now. Never with Trent, with the other 2. But now when you've got to this stage to be left with, I just can't get it anymore. I can't wrap my head around it anymore. Like VVD, apparently they want him to stay. He wants to stay. Salah wants to stay. They're happy for him to get some kind of contract. I mean, I don't know, man. This has scrambled my brain now, because every week you hear a different version of this guy's happy, or there's growing confidence that both will stay. And then the next day it would be, there's a big story out today being leaked through the Spanish press and being leaked through the Telegraph as well, I think, or one of the other ones, saying that Al Hilal are now very, very confident on signing. Like, that's the propaganda. That's the one that's being put out there now, is that Al Hilal are very, very confident in getting Mo Salah this year. So honestly, man, I just
also the one
know.
that think that
I really don't know.
Telegraph, I think, is also the one that had the
But it's come out
VVD.
via. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's
Oh,
like
I know
it's.
you're not saying that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm just
Oh,
giving.
the other ones is it's someone's putting a leak out there to put a story out there,
Yeah, I
and it's
also
like,
think they were the ones that said that VVD is going to
oh,
be
they're not
following Trent.
reputable place. I mean, you can ignore that. I'm just saying that someone is trying to put the story out there that they're happy or that they think they've got a deal done. So I'm just saying, just in terms of like every day there's some new
Sure,
bullshit.
sure.
Every day there's a positive. It's, oh no, he's staying. Such and such has said this, and then the next day it's like, oh no, actually someone else is coming out and saying that. So I don't know at this stage. And am I worried about anything else? No, not really. I'm not really worried at the moment. I think we've got this sewn up. Tomorrow's going to be a tough one. Yeah, they've had a long time off. We've had a long time off, but some of our players, we'll get to it in player ratings or player thingamajigs, have had good international breaks. They're in decent form and they've had a decent rest. So not overly worried about tomorrow, but expecting a real tough one too. So I think it'd be enjoyable.
Who would you say then? I'll go to you, then I'll go to Lee, then I'll go to Lante. Jimmy, who do you think is going to have the most? Who do you think is going to be feeling the most pressure tomorrow? And you can put the coach too, considering it's going to be Liverpool, it's going to be Everton, it's going to be.
Can I just say on the contracts? Can I just say on the contracts, it's got the potential to drag on all season. That there might not be a resolution before the season's ended, and that would be a weird way to win a title with two such key players at the end of their contracts and unsigned, and one already going out the door. It's a strange way to do business, isn't it? There seems to just be an infinite hold up. We all understood it'd take time, but it's the amount of time it's taken.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But it's also a case where you have it. You have a new sporting director
out before the season ends, like, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
We're all hoping that.
Oh my goodness. Adama is so he's a beast of a man when it comes to speed and everything else, but jeez, man.
He missed one, has he?
His finishing is suspect. Yeah. I was
For
just
me, whoever be under the most pressure.
Yeah, who's going to be under the most pressure?
I think Arne Slot will be under the most pressure. I don't think there's actually an enormous amount of pressure on either team. If you get what I'm saying, I think this is a bit of a one-off game. There's enough kind of space left in the season. I think they're going to see this as a kind of just a game to take it as it comes and play it. Because I don't think a win, loss, or draw is going to define either team's season. For us to get beaten, okay, blah blah blah, we come back from that. Still, the game in itself, I think, because of the fact now that we've got such a long time since we won a game, which was Southampton was the last time we beat a team.
Right.
Arne Slot has got knocked out of two major competitions, got knocked out of a major competition and lost a final, and is now facing certain questions which he shouldn't really be expecting or wouldn't be expecting when he's leading a team to a title. So he's going to have to reset the viewpoint of him in terms of a manager that's people are starting to look at now, going, oh, maybe he's not the Messiah after all. Maybe he's not Mr. Perfect. So I think him personally, is under probably. Moyes is just here to fuck our shit up. He don't care.
He doesn't care. Right?
He's not. They're not expected to win. If they do, happy days. They'll have a great time about it. If they lose, so what? It's the best team in England. It's Liverpool.
I hated it where he credited that late equaliser to some sort of divine cosmic power or something like that. It just had to happen. Mate, Oliver wanted it to happen. That's why, David. I've never liked him since he said that people's club rubbish, like contemptible bullshit.
Well, I guess we can start with some rivalry receipts. Anfield has not been kind to Everton. We can say that for sure. And it's been especially harsh to David Moyes. 0 wins in 19 Premier League trips to Anfield for the man in charge. That's tied for the most away games without a single victory by any manager in Premier League history. Moyes has only drawn 6 of his 11 games, 11 league visits here during his first Everton spell. The last one was a 0-0 draw back in 2013. And right now, Liverpool have won their last 3 home derbies, all 2-0 score lines. We've only done better once. That's between 1990 and 1994. 1 win, and it's 4 in a row. A clean sheet would make it a record, actually. So I know that some people don't believe in superstition and the likes, but I mean, is there like some type of like, voodoo type or whammy, I don't know, whatever you call it, that Moises has at Anfield, or do you think it goes deeper than that with the way that he looks at it? I'll ask that of Lee, actually.
His record ain't that good, is it?
Yeah, not to say to say the least.
I mean, he's got the Preston thing in common with Shankly, and like Preston had Tom Finney, who said that lovely thing after the 5-0 against Forest in '88, that it was the greatest exhibition of football he'd seen. He said at that pace, he said, I've never seen anything like that anywhere from around the world, anywhere in the world. He said, but at that pace, it was just unbelievable. And like Shankly always used to go on about him, Tom Finney, like, because he was a great winger and all that. Yeah, I've always had good feelings for Preston because of Shankly, but Moyes came from there, didn't he? When he went to Everton. I wouldn't mind Moyes so much if he didn't say that people's club rubbish. He says Everton is the people's club in Liverpool. It's like, some people's club, David.
That's I have heard that before. I have heard that. Very interesting. But for this people's club, do you think this is like one of the weakest Everton teams in some time? Or
yeah, there were some terrible ones. I remember when they had Brett Angel and Stuart Barlow up front, and they were bloody awful. Brett Angel and Stuart Barlow was terrible.
Barry Horn.
Barry Horn is all right against us because he was in that Dogs of War bollocks that Joe Royle had. That's why we went with that Derby win for quite a few seasons. Like
Phil Parkinson.
Everett Horn and Parkinson. Like, this isn't the greatest. They've slipped in terms of their position, but it never matters their position for the Derby. They could be like rock bottom and it'd still be a tough game.
Right.
It's a tough game, always the Derby. But I hope we can come out on
Nolante, are you a superstitious man? Do you think Moyes thinks there's a hex on him at Anfield, or do you think he's still got a chance of a win in him?
I just think, bro, it's just for everything, isn't it? Sometimes you have a long winning run, and runs are there to be broken at some point. That's all I think. I'm obviously happy it doesn't happen tomorrow, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's like Forest. I mean, look what happened. FIFA is all runs will come to an end one day, but we just hope we continue it more.
The odds are small, aren't they, on them getting a win at Anfield under them tomorrow? The odds are quite small on it, like, and rightly so. Whatever they are.
Just to your question, if they are I mean, in the last couple of years, they're a bad Everton team, obviously, but right now they're unbeaten since Moyes came back. So they are strong right now. This is a strong Everton team.
Yeah, it's pumped up Everton as well, isn't it? Yeah. as well
Yeah,
as just
this
being
actual iteration of the team, it's not far from the worst one ever. But yeah, I didn't realize. I knew they'd been doing well since he came back, but I just heard that today they're unbeaten in the league. So you got to say he's got him. I'm assuming that guy up front and Dye is fit again. He's been a bit of a live wire from him. He's got him doing David Moyes stuff, saying,
teaming up, haven't they?
yeah, keeping him tight at the back and letting one or two forwards up front try and do a bit of damage and do their set piece thing. He's doing David Moyes stuff. So,
Well,
but
yeah,
we've shown before David Moyes stuff is not enough to beat us.
yeah. I mean, you said set pieces. You're right to say that because set pieces are their game. They scored from 13 of 32. That's 41% for them from their set pieces. Obviously, we on the other hand have now have one of the lowest set piece goal share in the league at just 6%. But obviously, when you've got Salah and Diaz and Cody, you don't necessarily rely on just set pieces alone. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. Bernardo. Saka just scored. So it is now 2-0. Hopefully he's offsides because he was very close. But we'll see.
Watch him play every fucking minute now for the rest of the season.
Well, I'm glad he's back from the perspective that'll shut them up a bit about the injuries killed us because they got him, Martinelli, they got 1 year, they got Sterling, be shutting up about it now. He's back, like, how injuries kills you. How long would he like that for with only like Trossard as well, isn't it? Trossard, Martinelli, Saka. They've got plenty fit now, haven't they? It only went on for about like 2 months, did it?
Saka?
No, I mean, where they had virtually no one, where they only had Trossard, Sterling, 1 year. That was for about 2 months, wasn't it, right? That terrible injury. When after Jesus and Havertz both got injured and Martinelli was injured as well. I don't know, it was something like that anyway, about 2 months when they had that injury crisis that they said, killed them for the season. Which, in a way it has, like, but that's not our problem. Like I say, I'm just glad to see, I'm looking at through the lens of, I'm glad to see them have players back so they can shut up about the injury costing them and that, like, because, you know what I mean? We've had bad injury at season. Last season was badly injury hit for us. Nobody gave a crap with the, nobody gave a crap about that, but we were badly injury hit last season. It was like beyond a joke one of the times last season, the amount of injuries we had. So it's our turn to smile this season.
I'll tell you this much: we should, the way that Fulham is playing, we should definitely look to put one on them too. Fulham does not look good at all, and this is a Arsenal team that now is about to go, and they've already lost Gabriel in this game, and also they've just about to lose Timber right now. It's going down with injury.
To injury. So
I
did
know,
Saka score? Did his goal count 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2-0.
2-0.
Well, it shows us what we've got to do. It tells us what we've got to do. We knew that anyway, like, and hopefully we were thinking about it.
Poor, though. It's Saka just sitting there unmarked, unmanned, no man next to him, and it was an easy tap in header. It's just poor defense. But then again, Fulham is playing with a back three kind of right now. So it is what it is.
Where's your boy on the left side?
He's playing more like a wing back. He's
wing back 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Should be tracking. Should be doing his job. What's this? Come on, buck up. You won't get to Liverpool with performances like that.
Yeah,
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 he's not coming.
yeah.
He's staying where he is.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what we were saying about win our home games and league is ours. That's true. Very true. Very true. Um,
We've got some nice
Yeah.
ones too. We've got Leicester, we've got Fulham, West Ham, don't we? West Ham? No?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have West
well,
Ham.
it won't be easy, unfortunately. That's the thing. No game is easy. They might be playing crap today, Fulham, and they will turn up a performance against us. We know it's a Premiership.
I know,
That's just
right.
how it goes.
Yeah, that's how they usually do it.
That's just how it
Those
Play
kids
goes.
crap
are-
against Arsenal and then play
Yeah.
like lights out against Liverpool. That's how a lot of teams do it. It's weird.
Yeah, we just have to do our job. It's just plain. I'm not bothered whether Arsenal win, draw, lose. I'm not bothered about that. If 9 games to go, we can't do a job, then we're overhyped. It's just really simple as that. We are rubbish. I know I'm being negative, trying not to, but like I said, there's still a little bit for me human of what I saw last time. So for me, it's all about the team. Arsenal can win and win and win. Good for them. But we don't do our job, then yeah, heads are gonna roll. So, and let's hopefully we start tomorrow. So let's see. Let's just see. I want to see Slot not bend into everyone and just do the usual, but just some of these players, man, they're itching to go. And somebody being international, just mix it up a bit, freshen the team a bit. It needs to freshen up. It really does. It really does need to freshen up. It really does. Like this Merseyside derby is not. Yeah, I mean, if we would have come into it, let's just say we won one of the two. Let's just say we're through in the Champions League, was the Carabao Cup final and fine, but two competitions were out. So although we're clear and Arsenal have won, and we still got you won't again. Like I repeat, it's not the end of the world. This is a little bit of pressure on us. A little bit of pressure on us. To be fair. And it's up to the players to do what they've been doing brilliantly in the league for the majority of the season. But it's down to them to respond, nothing else. Not a draw, not a loss. Just go and win the game, and slap it back right, and just tell the Chris that we're here. We're not gonna let this be squeaky bum time, and put a marker out tomorrow. That's all the players need to do, and it's down to them. And that's what I want to see. And we'll be watching, and I'll be seeing this very closely. That's it.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more with the fact of it'd be nice to see us go out there and put a little bit of a hurt locker on them. Trying to see if I could show you. I'll show you one thing. Okay, so I'm going to show you this real quick. Our last time we matched up against this team, obviously we would you say that we were in control of the game last time, or would you say that we were or would you say they were in control of the game, and that is our last time we played Everton? Would you say what would be yes, no, or I'm gonna say yes, no, but was Everton in control of it, or were we in control of that game last time? Because it's interesting.
We didn't play well, did we? We didn't play well. It just left a bad taste in the mouth the way the equaliser went in. But we didn't play well. There's no doubt of that. Although I've cried about it, like the way the equaliser went in, we did not play well on the night, and we have to tomorrow because Arsenal are winning now, and they probably will keep winning until the end of the season if Saka's back and he gets back into the swing of things quickly enough. There's enough players around them to get them.
Are you gotta be kidding me?
Until the end of the season.
You gotta be kidding me.
Unless what you said before, Gabriel being injured becomes a permanent thing until the end of the season because he is a player they don't like doing without.
Yeah.
He's a big player for them, Gabriel, isn't he? And he'd be a miss for the Madrid games, like, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Wasn't it Munoz? Did Munoz score against us when we played Fulham?
Think he did, didn't he? Yeah, it was
Did he
it.
score against us?
Got the second one, yeah.
So bad, dude. So bad. So bad.
He
So
just
bad.
missed it.
I swear they really do play better when teams play against us. It's incredible. But here was the momentum chart, I guess you could say. It's very interesting if you look at it. Whereas in, a little back and forth in the very beginning. This obviously there was the goal early on in the 11th minute. Then we had our goal in the 16th minute, 5 minutes later. And then we had, you can see the substitutions on, push forward, and we got a goal. Very interesting, like you said, though. They ended up scoring, but was right as that momentum certainly started to change in that game towards the end, where it was a matter of like a lot of extra minutes were put onto it, and there was some time wasting here and there, but that's what it is, I guess, as you said. What is your starting lineup? I have my starting lineups, but do you have any? Do you think, or let me give you my starting lineup? How about that? And then you can tell me if you have anything different in your starting lineups for tomorrow. Obviously, I have Ali starting, despite the fact that I know that I think he's already gone through concussion protocol, so I think that he's eligible to play. So I have him starting tomorrow in net. If he isn't eligible, though, then obviously Kelleher will start there. I have Kwanzaa, I have Konate, I have Virgil, I have Robbo in the back line. Obviously, Bradley's not back from injury just yet, and Trent is still out with injury, possibly will be out for some time. In the midfield, unfortunately, you might want to put earmuffs on Alante. I have Dom, Grab, and Mac. Up front, I have Salah. I have Cody Hackbone starting for the first time in a long time. And I think that we're going to see Lucho start tomorrow as well on that front line. Any differences to the lineup that I have?
Alante, there you go.
Yeah. Rip the Band-Aid off early.
In terms of the lineup, God, it's very hard. Ali, I guess the back four. I mean, yeah, Quads. I mean, Bradley. Yeah, Quads has got to start right back. We just got no other choice. If the
You could start Endo there if you really want to, but
nah.
Yeah, no. Isn't Bradley back?
Yeah, but not for this game. Yeah, he is. He's training league, but I wouldn't put him in. There's no point.
Not ready.
Yeah, we can't do that to him, innit? Yeah. Kwanzaa, the midfield, I'll switch up. I'll do Endo, Mac and Jones. The Mac and Jones, and the front three. Obviously, Kinmo. The two positions. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I think Cody has to come back in because he's played the 2 games against Spain and 120 minutes. On top of that, the penalties, he was back to some kind of reform. And then up front, you have to just go with Darwin. You just have to let him go and play 90 minutes. You just have to. Jota, enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. He has to be on the bench.
okay. You don't see. What was your front line again? Because I know you're saying Nunez. So then, what's your
Yeah,
front line?
Cody, Darwin, and Mo.
Okay, interesting. I saw Brian put his in, so I'll ask you, Lee. What is your lineup for tomorrow?
I'd have it pretty obvious. Yeah, it'd be let's see, maybe I play Diaz in the 9 instead of Nunes. But maybe Nunes. So give up on Jota. I'm not asked about Jota anymore. Maybe Nunes play Nunes. Yeah, give him a go in the derby. See what he can muster up for us. Give him a last chance in the derby. Give him a start. See if he can sign off in style in the derby by playing a good part and scoring.
Okay. Endo. I think he's got Endo and Jones he's got. Wait, I'm trying to see what does Marcus have. He has Ali, Kwanzaa, VVD, Ibu, Rabo. Then he has Maka, Grab, Endo in the midfield. I take it, unless he's doing maybe he's doing a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-2-2. Maybe he's doing that with the Maka, Grav, Endo, Jones, have like a back line of Endo and Grav, and then have, I guess, Maka and Jones be up front. And then you'd have Cody on the left and Salah on the right. That's an interesting approach. Brian's lineup is Ali, Rabo, BBD, Ibu, Kwanzaa. Then he has Mac, he has Dom, he has Grav, Cody, Diaz, and Salah. Okay. That's pretty much, it's the same one I have.
Yeah, same as your line.
Let's see if anyone else has got any other selections. I think that's all the selections that came in. I think we'll see Pickford. It's going to be an interesting. Who do you think is going to be in their back four? Because originally I was thinking maybe they'll go with Young, they'll go with Brantwaite, they'll go with Tarkowski and O'Brien. However, that they go with Mikolenko.
He ain't as good as Lucas Dean, yeah. That was
he's doubtful tomorrow. That's why
he fell out, didn't he? He fell out with Rafa, Dean, yeah. I think it was Rafa who sold him and bought Mikolenko.
For a while he was their man. He was their man. But if he's healthy, I was thinking Mikolenko would go in the back line. He is doubtful, but I know that he is training apparently. And also the mid pair is going to be the same, but I had Patterson maybe being on the left. The midfield I have Harrison, I have Lindstrom, Gay, Garner, and possibly Decore. I don't know if I think they might keep Decore on the bench to be a sub. I'm not certain about that, but it also could be. But he probably will start as their 10, and then I'll have Beto at their starting forward. Dominic Calvert-Lewin obviously is injured and out, so he will not be available. Who do you think there's going to be in their back line?
Well, have you been keeping an eye on him, or?
Tarkowski, Mikalenko at left back, O'Brien at right back, and who's partnering Tarkovsky lately? It's
Yeah, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Braithwaite, and
Ramsey.
Milichenko. And then it'll probably be, I'm thinking they'll do a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. So there'll probably be Gray, the Core, and it depends. Yeah, Gay, the Core.
Ghana.
Yeah, you could put Gardner's a 2, then the
Yeah,
Core.
Ghana with Gay and Takore will go, wouldn't it? Probably it might be that three. Yeah, they've got did he come in in decent form? Yeah, that sort of did elude me a bit. Like I looked at them a bit, but I've got used to them being low down and shit lately. That like I haven't really watched them in recent weeks. And but apparently they're in good form, aren't they? And going to come here in good spirits and that way and give us a good game or give us a game. I hope they don't give us a good game in the sense that they play well. I hope they have a bear. Well, coming in good form is the first time in ages that they've come in good form, probably.
Yeah,
On a run like this.
possibly. I'm asking those questions primarily because, every fixture you have to talk about Salah. You have to talk about who he's going to be going up against. Hopefully, it could be the last time in the Everton matchup. He really went missing at times, to be honest with you. And like as we said, it is pretty incredible that Everton does have, obviously the best set piece performance output in the league currently, but 8 goals, 2 assists, and 11 Premier League derbies is what Mohamed Salah sits on. Just one behind Stevie G's mark of 9 in this clash. And if he scores and assists again, like he did at Goodison, he'll join Shearer and Chris Sutton as the only players to do it twice in one season versus Everton. It's always some type of record that could be set here.
Chris Sutton was a menace against
2-1, by the way, right now. He's so bad, though. Oh my God, he's so bad. Now he won't score. It should be 2-2. It should be 2-2.
When Norwich have him still. Great player, Chris Sutton. Really good forward. Liked him. Good with Shearer, good foil for Shearer. 2 of them together was excellent. Good idea from Dalglish.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. About 2 minutes left in this game right now. About 2 minutes left in this game. Sorry about that. 1 second. Sorry about that. I think that was Rodrigo Munez calling me to say, stop talking ill on my name. But yeah, he's still a little. He had an absolute sitter that he should have put away. Arnie Slot, I don't mind losing if it is to PSG or Newcastle. It is an embarrassment and close to a disaster to lose to Plymouth Argyle. I respect them a lot, but they are not PSG.
Yeah,
Why would you say that?
Why would you say that?
Why would you say that?
Well, if you saw the press conference,
somebody must have asked them specifically for them to come out with that. Surely,
no, if it
specifically mentioned like the FA Cup or something.
Well, no, it was in the press conference today, so it is kind of a linear. It's part of an answer. It was quite strong. I think I don't think he meant like I don't mind losing. That's a bit of a translation thing. I think what he was saying is like, look, you can come up against a top side and you can lose a game. You can put that, but what he was saying is, but you can't lose against Plymouth, which is facts. Basically, it was more about like, look, we were poor in the game. He said, I think Newcastle is the only time we could say we're outplayed this year, and then PS in the league in England. Then he's like PSG. But if you watch the whole thing, it was more about him saying, look, we're not happy about it, don't like it, but you can lose a game against a top side. PSG is a top side. But what you can't do, he was being a bit deflecty today. Like the first one, he was asked about Trent, and he was just like, he started talking about all kinds of things other than Trent. You know what I mean? Your man tried to pin him back on it again, and he still started talking about like anything but Trent. But yeah, he was asked about, the two losses, and there was no reason to go to the Plymouth thing. But I think I said it at the time after that Plymouth Argyle loss. I said that could be the last time this season you'll see any of those players play for this club. I think he was trying to throw back this. It wasn't a great. It was a kind of a dull press conference, but he did say a few things that were noteworthy, and he was a little bit prickly about things. It was like the trend thing was like someone walking into your living room and saying, "Oh, where did you buy that new couch?" And he immediately goes, "Well, we got our paint from down the road, and we got our carpet from over there, and we got the new kitchen." And the guy goes, "No, sorry, I'm asking you specifically, where did you get that couch from?" He's like, "Well, my neighbor next door has a lovely new lawn." It's just like talking about the most random shit ever to not answer the question. It was like your mom was like going, "Right, okay, but Trent," and he's just like, "Nope, not going to talk about it." He's like, "Oh, Trent had a great game 8 weeks ago. If he'd been fit, he could have had a great week for England." It's just like, dude, that was just not the fucking question in any way. And they just kind of gave up. They didn't really pressure him much at all. He was just someone, "Oh, he did it great with a straight bat." I was just like, nah, he looked kind of uncomfortable, just trying to say anything but answer the question and just vaguely speak around it. And then they just moved on. But yeah, the thing about Plymouth was like someone asked him, those were two bad results. And he was like, "Yeah, but you can lose to big teams or you can lose to a good team, but I cannot accept losing against Plymouth or Argyle." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "No," and he's like, "No disrespect to Plymouth." But it's like, okay, we're going back there. So I thought he was a bit rattled. He came
Yeah.
across as very chilled, calm demeanor and all that, and tried to have a few jabs, but I thought he was kind of rattled underneath the surface. Um,
Sounds like it. I haven't seen it yet. Like I'll have a look at it later. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, all managers will have their periods where they get rattled. Doesn't matter who you are, how calm you are, they all have their periods, and that's just it. Yeah, but he needs to be careful with his words. The squad thing and this, yeah, I'm not really liking that from Arnie. He needs to do better. Because in that again, I haven't watched the press conference. I can only go what you said, Brian. What someone in the chat said. I can only go with those words. But
yeah.
you dismissing the context of Plymouth is just being disrespectful to the reserve players. When I get it, PSG and Newcastle are bigger. I get that, no problem. But you're just kind of dismissing some of the squad players. Like some of them have hardly started their games. So what are you trying to imply? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be real. He's getting on my nerves on some of these things that he's doing. I can't lie. I'm gonna be honest, man.
We have
He's getting on
noticed.
my nerves a
We
bit.
have noticed now.
I know, Brian. I know. And he just needs to be careful with his words, some of his actions. About I'm happy with where we are, but I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. You can't be disrespecting some of the players that are in the squad like that. And then and then you give Blyes the people that have been out of form for 5-6 matches and are tired, shattered. But yeah, man, he needs to do better, Arnie. He needs to do better.
Well, one thing he did say in Atlanta, which would be maybe might tell everybody what his plans are. They were asking him maybe what does he expect from Everton, and he said, "Well, they're unbeaten. since Moyes came back, and they kind of do one thing, or they play a certain way. And he said they're unbeaten, so it will be very strange for them to do something different. And he said we're top of the league, blah blah blah. So it would also be very strange for us to do something different. So that for anybody who's one, that to me sounds like, you know, you're not going to get Endo, Jones, Elliot. You know, you're going to get the main men again. So that's his kind of way of looking at it. That was one other thing he said that stood out to me
Would
was,
have got that with this coach.
You know.
Would have got that anyway. But anyway, at least that's my take. With this coach lately, you're gonna get pretty much what you expect, which is
yeah, no, it's just I've seen a lot of people do shows over the last 2 days, and I've seen a lot of Endo and Jones in midfield, like Dom and Grav on the bench in lots of teams. You know, Nunez and Chiesa starting. You know, it's like that's not going to happen. That is just not going to fucking happen.
right.
Like he was talking about how good they've been coming off in moments and being ready to perform when we need them. Speaking a lot about that. Had a little dig at Chiesa for not being fit as well. Slight kind of dig. Someone said, you mentioned before that you haven't seen much of Chiesa because of the amount of games you have to play and the amount of training. And he immediately cut him off and he said, and I also haven't seen a lot of him because he hasn't been as fit as we would have wanted him to, or he would have wanted to be. So he straight had a dig at Chiesa from the start.
Interesting, Brian. Well, again, he's the manager, so he can see what he sees fit or what is reported to him. So, but again, man, I don't know. I just think he's just. I'm gonna be very. I'm just gonna. Sorry, Brian. His comments are winding me
No,
up.
go ahead.
I can't lie. Sorry, Brian. I just think he's just, and it's hard because I'm not there, so he sees. So who am I to say against him what he says about Chiesa? But I think he's just doing some BS with some of his comments. I'm sorry. Like he's winding me up with this stuff, man. Like, so what is Chiesa doing? Having a day? In my opinion, is he having a day field? And then he does these things like puts these players and this and that. But dude, like it's just simple, man. We're not asking for much. Like I just like Brian. I just like we're not saying that Endo and these people should start every game. Just simple maths. Like, dude, he brings Endo at PSG, like giving him the big, it's gonna start, and again nothing, and again, and people will say, this and that, but I mean, it's just hard because he's just making me go back to that place, and I'm just asking for these guys that have proven themselves, that have played games and done all right for us, to start a game here and there. Anyway, but Chiesa's not fit. But then again, when you are desperate, again, that's 5 minutes is nothing. But then what has he been doing then for the last 6 months, 12 months? Has he been running? What has he been slacking? He seemed. I mean, again, I can only go by clips, but Chiesa seems to me as a player who's desperate to play. But and again, what do I know anyway? Arnie knows best. So what? So then, what's he going to be then? A bystander? Some of his BS Arnie's doing is just. It's very irritating, man. I think he's like I said, I'm not a manager and he sees all, but I think some of it he's covering up some stuff, and I'm kind of not liking who he's digging out, but he doesn't give the same energy for certain other players. That's all. But yeah.
Yeah, he brought up the fact that at the end he was like, and he's in competition with Mo Salah, and nobody, blah blah blah, can say that he hasn't had a good season. So he's kind of pigeonholed him in the fact that if he is going to play, that's where he will play. He won't play as a false and he won't play on the left. He came out and said he's in competition with Mo Salah. Like normally, a manager will come out and say, "Oh, well, he can play 2 or 3 positions for us." It's like, so he might get in the team because, like say a journalist might say, "Oh, is Chiesa not starting because he's in competition with Mo?" And he might come out and say, "No, Chiesa can play in the middle. He can play on the left for us. He can play on the right." He's come out and said the opposite. He's the one that's come out and basically said the only place I see him playing for us is on the right because he's in competition with Mo Salah. So maybe he didn't. Maybe it wasn't a slot signing and he didn't like it from the start or whatever. But he was bigging him up as well, saying but he was putting the thing down, or almost saying like these guys have done well when they come in, and that is part of my job and their job is to be ready to come in when we need them, and it's sort of get ready to come in, kind of, as opposed to ready to start. It's like he's still saying. So yeah, if you're a Chiesa or an Elliott or a Jones, you're probably sitting there thinking, okay.
No, that's some interesting comments, bro. Yeah, thanks for the update because I didn't watch the press conference, but yeah, that's not great because Saturday is going to start until we mathematically win this title. So, I mean, the minimum Chiesa might get is 5 minutes if lucky. And let's say we wrap up the title, we're even giving game time. It's kind of worrying that a little bit, because him saying that he basically is indirectly saying, well, you're not going to see much of him, in other words. But in my opinion, anyway. Yeah, you're right. Jones, Elliott, yeah, I mean, all these players, I mean, after what you've just told me, if I was them, I'd be looking to leave. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. If this is what he's coming out in the press conference, why would I stay at Liverpool Football Club? But,
Well, let's get some score predictions. How about that? While we still can. What would you say your score prediction for this game is going to be? Let's go with Nolante first, and then go Lee, and then go to the Irishman.
Midweek, so which would be good 8 p.m. Hopefully the fans will be on point because from what I've heard, I know I've spoken to a few people who went to Wembley and they said the atmosphere was not great. That's due to, I think, but it's okay. Something actually we'll discuss when the channel finishes. But in terms of the game, I think it will be a close game. I don't think we'll run away with it. If I'm honest, it's a Merseyside derby, but I think we'll sneak it 2-1. I think we'll get a 2-1.
How about for you, Lee?
Yeah, I'll say a narrow one. I'm going to go for a 1-0. I'm going to go for a 1-0 for us.
Okay. Brian?
What score predictions, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Watching Coco.
Nolante like 2-1 and I went 1-0. Do you dare put more goals in it? What about
2-1? Yeah, 2-1. I would beaten by a goal basically, but I would go with go with a 2-1. Be happy with that.
Any type of win, innit? Like just to get the win and get it under our belts to start another run because we're on such a long run, weren't we? Like, and it hasn't come to an end in the league. It's only in the 2 cups, and it like the run's come to an end. We're still winning in the league before the break. It seems an eternity, doesn't it, since the last game? These ones happening tonight brought it home just how long it's been to see Arsenal. Well, to know Arsenal are playing. So can't wait for tomorrow night to get back to it. Hopefully get that win. Then we can sort of like relax a bit if we get a win, can't we? And sort of just assume we'll get into the flow of it and it'll be a romp to the title, hopefully.
Norm is saying that I don't agree with Slot that Chiesa is just Mo cover. He's just as good wide left. He can play in the middle as well.
Yeah,
he can play in the middle.
From 3, can't you?
He can play as a kind of a Firmino,
multifaceted
Cross,
forward.
kind of thing, maybe.
He'd probably be on his bike, won't he? Chiesa in the summer, I would imagine, given the amount of time Scott's given him.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's maybe a political thing where he wasn't a slot signing kind of thing, and he's maybe making a. Again, I could be reading way too much into this, but maybe kind of a.
Maybe he was
I'm not
decided
going to play him.
from
Yeah,
Hughes.
it's sort of. Yeah, you can buy him. I'll be the head coach thing, but I'll kind of put down a bit of a marker and saying I'm not going to play everybody you buy. If he's not good, maybe could be a kind of a minor little power play at the start of his tenure, but like someone, the kid always impressed me when he came on.
At the same time this summer, so we didn't get absolutely no one. But last summer it was Maladashvili and Chiesa won it with the incomings.
Yeah. Mine was
Yeah,
let's see do his best impression of let's just say the better.
yeah. I think what's he got? 300 minutes, maybe something like that. Who knows?
Yeah. But the thing is, I'll say, bro, is the fact that, again, you could be right, to be honest. I mean, the way it's looking, you're right to think that. But again, I'm looking on the flip side. If that's the case, then Slot has the final say as the head coach, because well, not Edwards, mainly Hughes. He suggests a player, and we can convince him to have a go, but he's the head coach, so he has the final say to say yes or no. So you see, so if he done, so he probably just said yes for the sake of it, then, because if he didn't really want him, he should have just said no, I don't want him. Simple as. So he just kind of made a fool of himself. He said yes, and he doesn't rate him. So, but again, we'll see in the summer. But it's not. Yeah, it's like you said, it's not really looking good for Chiesa, unfortunately.
Well, honestly, he's got a pretty strong take there, this is what honestly is similar to what I was saying a few months ago, but he's saying it in a much more kind of no, just in a strong enough way. He's saying, what has Chiesa done to even come close to take over from Mo or Cody or Lucho on the wings? Jack, bro, he has been injured the whole time. He's been injured the whole time. Come on, what are we doing here? You need to earn your spot.
And I can just rebuttal that and say, honestly, if you can say need to earn your spot, how do you earn your spot? You play games in a row. You can't just say you need to earn your spot, but you don't. You play peanut minutes. You know what I mean? And he hasn't been injured for the whole time since December / going. He's been fit. He hasn't been used. It's pretty simple as. So you can't just come in and just say what has he done. If he plays 4 or 5 games in a row, he has stinkers. Fine, no problem. I'll shut up. But what is he? How has he had the chance to say what has he done? You play these players to prove themselves. You can't just say one game and he has an average game and say, "Oh, what has he done?" That doesn't make sense. Play the guy, let him have his chance, and if he doesn't, then fair enough. Darwin, in 3 seasons, he's played games. He hasn't worked out. Fair enough. The majority, it was only this season he's been up and down. He hasn't had much, but he's played enough games. That's what it's about.
I thought
So
Chiesa sort of proved his fitness, that he was fit enough to play more minutes in the Premier League when he did play. I mean, he did play in the Premier League a few times, some minutes, didn't he? Like when we played Brentford, that late win, and he played a part in that.
Lee, he's been fit.
He's fit enough now, but
He's been fit. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not gonna listen to this. He ain't been fit.
You're getting
all
the
season.
agent. You're getting the agent shout again, Nolante. They're saying, Kevin saying, tell them Kay's agent. That's going to stick on you now, man.
I know.
You're his Mr. 10%.
Exactly. Well, like I said, Kevin, mate. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, next time I'll be in the Bahamas.
Exactly. Making
I
deals.
think what it is with
me and Brad.
Me
and Brad will be rich.
It's not always about sometimes.
Players.
It's not sometimes though. It's not about necessarily earning your right to get any type of play. I think sometimes it's a fact of you're going to get you got to step up when you're needed. And there's been cases where you could say Chiesa was asked, to step up when in that Newcastle matchup, and he stepped up. You're not going to see what you're not going to ever get an opportunity to say, oh, he doesn't deserve to play if you never give him the opportunity to show that he doesn't deserve to play. Is that simple? Like, as in, you could say, oh, well, he doesn't deserve to play, but the results have been less than what we'd like to see from those that have been asked to do the duty. And I'm not saying that Cody can't do it. He can do it, but a fit Cody can do it. Rather than trying to just keep going, you're just trying to get blood. Was it blood from a stone or something? Or so it just doesn't seem that way.
But sometimes it's like a catch-22, isn't it? It's like, how do you get into the team? Well, you have to show that you're good enough to play in the team. Well, you can't show that you're good enough to play in the team until you get into the team.
Right.
So it can be one of those kind of vicious circles, some catch-22 maybe. Like, it's like, how do you get in the team? Play like, it's easy to say, just play 5 games and then we can judge it. It's like, but those 5 games are actual league games.
Right.
So it's like, you can't get in. Normally, what happens? Injury.
Right.
The guy who you're sitting behind gets injured, but guess what? Mo never gets injured. It's how Robbo, we all thought a lot of people think we brought in Robbo, and he kind of broke into the team. He sat on the bench for a long time. Albi Moreno picked up an injury, and then Robbo got into the team and never looked back. Sometimes that's the thing. So, yeah, it's impossible to show that you're good enough to play without getting the chance to play. So, yeah, and like the whole small squad, not a lot of rotation, Mo Salah never getting injured. It all adds up to, and then probably a couple of times when he might have had a chance, he was injured, maybe not. I can see it all, but like I said from day one, when the guy comes on, he lights up the pitch. I've always said that about him. He immediately, within 2 or 3 minutes, he'll have had a shot. He'll have gotten on the ball and just run at 4 people and said, fuck it, I'm going to try and make something happen. He immediately gets into a game. I said it before, he's like someone who immediately gets up to the speed of a game, like very few people I've seen before. A lot of people, they come in, they take 5, 6, 7 minutes to get into it. Jesus comes on, sprints on like he's been playing the whole game. His touch is quick, his touch is right there, he knows where everyone is, and he wants to make things happen. So, yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate, but that's a good,
And
confirmed
the worst thing for Slot was for Chiesa to be given an opportunity finally and score, which is what happened. The worst thing to happen is to finally give Elliott an opportunity, and what happens? He scores. The worst thing could be give Nunez an opportunity to be on the pitch, and he gets an assist. It's like
12.
Just believe in these people, or at least give them the opportunity to prove you wrong, and you'd be surprised because they've done measures for us in the past. Maybe not Chiesa, but they've done measures in the past for us when called upon. So, I know he's not necessarily used to that from a lot of these players because he wasn't here last year. But I mean, whether it was last year, the year before that, these players have all known that when your number is called, you have to step up and you have to make the mark. And a lot of these players aren't given the opportunity to do so when they're just watching the same player again and again and again be called, despite the fact that they're not showing up. That's the part and point of what frustrates me. I do not mind if these players play and they don't do anything, then cool. We've been proved wrong. But
it's not the
considering that
you've
been playing the same players again and again and again, and they've been kind of filtering, been kind of like flopping a little bit or falling short, then you can call it hindsight, you can call it armchair quarterback, but all the same, you got to find something new. That's all. And you gotta be bold and brave.
We've been everywhere that matters this season apart from Chelsea, haven't we? We've got to go away to Chelsea, and that's like it, really, isn't it? Away from home. We got Arsenal at home, but we've played all our tough fixtures, really, haven't we? Get this derby out the way. Hopefully get the right results, i.e. a win of any nature, and then we can just move forward to winning this league, follow it up with a win against Fulham. I think we've got it in us, like whether it'll happen, don't know, but we've definitely got it in us. So if it just comes through tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's true. But what else? You know what? I was funny is you saying to. It's funny because I think Chiesa with the cup final. I don't think he just put him on for the sake of it.
Yeah,
me.
I think
He
so
just
too.
thought, we ain't doing. Let me just throw him in, see if we can do. And obviously, what happened. But what the last thing I'll say in this, and Brian, obviously, he's been consistent, and I've been consistent in our points with Chiesa. The last thing I'll say about this with Chiesa is the fact that is anyone, and honestly, you keep saying this and that, and fair enough, Dutch, this Dutch Harry are, but sometimes you can't be doing that, not in the Premier League. Are you telling me Chiesa? And again, I remember I said Chiesa should have started against Southampton, and boy, there was people like, oh, Mo is not a machine. He's a fit player, but he's not a machine. He gets fatigued. Are you telling me Chiesa can't start against a Southampton? Are you telling me Chiesa can't start at Leicester or Wolves or West Ham? If people tell me that he can't start, then I'm done. I don't know nothing about football. I'm clueless.
Yeah,
You're telling me this player cannot start against him. And this is what you guys are hearing back on Modest. It's not about that. We're not saying Chiesa should start. And I keep saying this, some of you get it's a squad rotation, 23-man deep squad. Otherwise, what's the point of having a squad? Let's just play all 14 players and let's see how you get on. That is the issue. You use the squad to the best of the ability. You rest Mo in certain games. You rest these players in certain games. Otherwise, what happens? Fatigue, loss of form, etc., etc. And that's my point. That's all we've been consistent. So when you're 12th about Chiesa, just in a certain game, just play him. It's not that deep. He's not a bum. He's a quality player. We know this. It's the manager for whatever reason, and he has his reasons. We're not privy to it. To play him, you know what I mean? The same with Endo. Look, Slot says this and that, but the guy has not even started one Premier League game. That is ludicrous. I'm sorry. That is ludicrous. And yes, we are top of the league. And yes, fine, cool, no problem. I'll be happy 20 and all that once we do. Fine, but I'm sorry. Like, you want to tell this? I got to call it how it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything about anything. The guy has not started one Premier League game. That is ludicrous. We're not asking Endo to start every game. Come on now. It's ludicrous, and that is it. It's simple as. We've done all right because Arsenal have been poor and we've had a good run, and certain players have stepped up. But in the cup competitions, you can see in Plymouth. That's the Plymouth game is the only game where Slot. I don't even blame him because he was right to play those players. The players didn't perform, and that's fair enough. No problem. That's on the players, not Slot. But the other two, come on, man. In certain other games, come on, man. You're telling me these players can't start against Southampton, Leicester? What are we doing here? I don't care if you're Mo, VVD, whoever. Come on, man. Let's be real.
And as far as for Feyenoord, Arne Slot had his team fit for 90% of the time. He barely rotated. He only had to take out Hartman because he had an ACL injury. If there is a winning formula, why change it? Well, what we're trying to emphasize is the fact that this is not Holland. This is not the Dutch league. It's certainly a higher level of physicality in this league. There's a lot more of the minutes and the miles that you're running in this league are a little bit more strenuous than the Dutch league. And on top of that, when you're a team like Liverpool and you're playing in 4 competitions and your expectations are to win each competition that you're in, whether it's League Cup, FA Cup, obviously Champions League, and certainly the league, there's going to be an emphasis of trying to figure out how to maintain those levels. I did actually do a slight piece on how they have taken like a little deeper look at to how they Slot and his team have taken some of their techniques and the approaches they've used from Feyenoord to bring to Liverpool as to keep the squad fit per se, and they've done a relatively decent job of doing so. But obviously, with certain injuries, that's just a matter of fortune. You want to be fortunate not to have some types of injuries. Again, the ACL injury most likely isn't necessarily like you're just running. It might be probably an impact injury or something along those lines. So that's just being fortunate. But the case of what we're emphasizing is that, yes, it worked in Feyenoord, and it's fantastic it worked in Feyenoord. Take those components and try to tinker it a little bit so that it can be completely engageable with a Premier League season. And that's the case where you have to understand that there's, if he could say, he's going to say comments of, oh, I don't know the quote completely, but it was something along the lines of the Plymouth. I can tolerate losing to PSG or so-and-so or Newcastle, but I can't tolerate losing to Plymouth. Well, how about this? Rotate your squad better so that you're able to play a more fit and able squad, without having to, try to do a whole sea change to the team. But also the sheer fact of that sea change of a team, if they are playing together, if they're getting regular starts or at least getting some types of starts throughout the entire season, chances are they will be in form when you call upon them. But that's just my opinion. So.
That was just
I could just say quickly on that. If you watch the press conference, basically the way I would read what he said was what we've been talking about tonight was put to him that maybe if you'd rotated a bit more, people against PSG and Newcastle might have been a bit better. Basically, boiling it down, would you have had more of a chance had you been able to rotate more? And he kind of a little bit of under the bus type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He said basically by bringing up the Plymouth thing, he said I rotated for that game. He was saying undercover that he rotated for that game and he played all those who played players like that and they lost. I kind of think that was the point he was trying to subtly make there. Now, I'm not saying this is a don't shoot the messenger thing. I'm just saying that's the way I read what he was saying, was that the guy said, what you're saying, what I've been saying is what I've been coming around to. If you'd rotated a bit more, Southampton game, and then for PSG, and he kind of threw out the one game where we lost, where without saying it, anybody watching him would have known that was a heavily rotated squad. Chiesa started in that game. And then he went, well, we lost that game. Yeah, Pop saying it wasn't that. So, yeah, I know. It was, I kind of think that's what he was trying to say was, well, when I did rotate and we lost the game. So he's a bit.
If that's the case,
he
that's
can be
right there.
No, but I'm getting, like I say, watch it yourselves.
I'm not shooting.
No, watch it yourselves and see if that's how you pick it up.
I'm shooting. I'm not shooting, but like, not trying to be like Nas here, but the sheer fact in that Plymouth matchup, the issue wasn't necessarily it wasn't just the team on the pitch per se too. It was the sheer fact that we had no one on the bench really that would have been an asset to be able to bring on other than what I think Curtis Jones was the only player I think that came on in that game. If I'm reflecting right, that has any real, league starts or anything like that. So, I mean, like, it's just a fact of, okay, now you're going to say you go, I'm not going to rotate. But then when you go, you're going to say, but you're going to say a cheeky little statement like that to be like, when I do rotate the entire squad, then I'm not going to bring anyone to rotate for them. Okay, what are we doing?
Well, no, yeah. I mean,
It's
well,
like,
if he
what are we
didn't,
doing? What are we saying?
well, no, I think he was kind of trying to say to the guy, look, I gave you your rotation, and look what happened. But he's been confrontational. Like, I mean, again, this was just my read on it, so I'd encourage
Yeah,
anybody who hasn't
I'm
seen
giving you
it to
my
go
read
watch.
as well back. I'm giving you my
But
read as
if
well.
go,
I don't
yeah,
agree
just
that.
go.
I think that's a poor. That's just not
No, but
not
if you haven't seen it,
not right.
it's part of a kind of a long piece that he goes into. But he was getting back at Mo Stewart as well when Mo Stewart brought up the things about he buried Mo Stewart, to be honest.
Mhm.
Mo Stewart said, like, we've conceded X amount of goals from set pieces and they've scored most amount of goals. And he just said, yeah, he's like, I like how you like to use data. I also like to use data, but I like to use it in a way that makes us look good. And he said, we also have the best defensive record in the league defending corners. So he's like, so Mo was going, yeah, okay, yeah,
Okay.
you kind of got me there. He's like, so when you look at it, it just means that we've conceded very, 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 very few goals. But when we have conceded them, they've come from corners. But we're also the best defensive lead in the league. We're the best team defensively from set pieces
That's
from
just like,
defending corners.
how do you say that when you're the reason, one of the reasons why it wasn't a corner, it was a set piece, I believe, that we got it off of, but it's set piece corner, if you want to say it was a glorified corner. Like, the reason why we lost, or not lost, the reason why we drew against Everton, though, like the game that we're about to go into, he's making a point about this team is one of the best teams when it comes to set pieces. The last time you faced them, you're up 2-1, and you ended up dropping points against this team off a glorified set piece. And then you want to come back on, well, we're really good at set pieces. Okay.
No, that exactly the
I
guy,
mean,
and he said, yeah, but we're also in the
cheers.
league. We are top at
Yeah.
defending corners. There's no team better than us.
All right.
So he's not afraid. I just like he's that's what I'm saying. He was tetchy today. He was going at like everybody that was he comes across as calm, but he was shooting back at people that were shooting at him. So I think
Yeah.
that's what you're asking earlier on about who's under the most pressure in this game.
Yeah, it's Arnie Slot, it sounds like.
I said I think it is Arne Slot. I don't think it's really either team is
Right.
under huge pressure, but I think the coach is feeling it. But he had a few jokes about the ref. Someone said to him, he said, well, I hope not to get, he basically said, I hope I don't get sent off again. But if the refs do what they did to us last game, he said, that's 8 minutes of football where I've never seen so many big decisions go against us. If that were to happen again,
Yeah,
I might
that's,
go off.
that's very true.
He said, I'll try not to. But if something
Mhm.
like that was to happen again, I can't promise that I
Can't
won't. It
promise,
was like,
make any
okay.
promises. I hope that he wouldn't,
Yeah.
because he's got to stick up for his team.
Yeah, he had it like it was even like in the when they put chapters, when you're rewatching the thing and they put like little chapters on the timeline as you're on the thing as you can hover over it and skip.
Mhm.
It'll be like, Van Dijk injury, Salah contract, blah blah. And one of them was like cheeky digs at refs was one of the chapters in the little timeline when it went up. That's how they put it down. So yeah, you had a little dig at like, well, could you blame me for going off? Did you see the decisions they made? I've never seen 8 minutes of football like that. If that was to happen again, maybe I will go off.
Fair enough. One thing I can agree from what you've told me, Brian, it's press conference. I agree with that. That's fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't name
I
names.
don't
He
have
didn't
that
say the
statistic
ref
in front
was
of me right
this.
now,
Get
actually,
himself a
honestly.
fine.
I could just tell you that that's fantastic. The fact of that we have that we have a low number of goals conceded from set pieces. I also know that we lost. The major reasons why we lost the League Cup. Wait, let me think about it. It was a set piece, right? And then we were talking about the reason why we just drew against Everton was from a set piece. So fantastic that we have a low occurrence of goals that are scored against set pieces, but obviously we're not perfect against set pieces, especially when we need to be. So let's not go too crazy with it. I love statistics too, but that's not a
Yeah, we're the
statistic
best.
that I would
I
try
didn't
to
know that.
say. That's not a statistic I
didn't
would
know.
try to utilize to be on some. Well, he's got a leg to stand on.
Well, no, he said we are. I didn't know that. We're the best in the league at defending corners, apparently. Well, I wouldn't have thought that. When you look, it just shows you how stats can be weird because you look at the amount of goals you conceded, X amount of set pieces,
Mhm.
but it just shows you that we don't, we just don't concede that many goals. But when we do concede, and that's the whole point, it's like, yeah, this is the point you're making. This point I would make is like, we concede very, very few goals.
Yeah,
And we are
yeah.
one of the
What is
best at defending set pieces,
right?
the best statistically. But
What is
when
the
we do score
Mhm.
a goal, I think when we do score a goal, 20% of the time, it will be from a set piece. So when you take that and you match it up against a team that's good at them, this is what you're saying.
Mhm.
You need to actually double up, and it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, you can't just
you
say,
gotta
"Oh
be
well, we
perfect.
concede few," but yeah, we're fucking yeah, but these guys are really good at them. So if you are going to concede a set piece, it will probably be against a team like Everton. So we have to be doubly fucking strong and not do stupid things like here, Mac, you go and mark that 6'8" giant over there. You know, have a
Right,
little bit more
right.
be switched on. Don't have it be, oh well, we just added to that stat again. You know, it's
Mhm.
pretty easy. Realize what they're going to try and do and deal with it competently. Absolutely. You know, we are good at defending them, but if someone's going to score one against us, it might come from one of them 25% of the time. And these guys score 40% of their goals from. So, yeah, let's be extra vigilant. Let's be really switched on because they're going to
Right,
pepper us. They
right.
will. Every time they can get a ball within 40 yards, they're going to swing it in. The defenders will
That's
go
the
up. The
part and
defensive
point,
mids
or
will go up.
that's the major point of
They're
why.
going to swing them
Yeah,
in.
the major point of why that sounds like
I just don't
the
think he
major point
likes
of
Mo
why
Stewart
something
either.
is key
I
of
get
it is
that
that.
feeling.
Hmm, yeah, maybe. Mo Stewart asks questions though that I like Mo Stewart.
Yeah, I
He
like
tends
him
to
too.
ask questions that fans would ask somewhat sometimes.
He was
Like
one of
as
the
in
main reasons I liked Anfield Rock.
there's a lot of journalists there's a lot of journalists out there that when they get their opportunity, they'll ask a question that they know is a safe question because they want to get in the good, graces of a coach. But there's others that will ask questions that you can call relatively controversial questions or hard-hitting questions simply because they they ask the questions that some of us want to get. And again, this isn't saying that Arnie Slot is a bad coach in any ways of it. That's not
No, I
saying
think
that
he's
at
pretty
all.
decent. I think he's shown it. He's pretty
Yeah,
decent.
yeah. It's a measure to show your worth if you're able to do what he's done this year by getting us to this point of the season. Um, but it's not saying that we can't be better at certain aspects of the game. He honestly said, yeah, he said something about improve on we need to improve on our consistency or our ability to score off of set pieces on our half or on our behalf. That's great.
Mhm.
I guess you do look at statistics because, like the statistic I said earlier, we were either the second or the worst in the league. That says something. That's something that we've got to figure out. I do know that we also are one of the top corner takers in the sense of we get the most corners in the league. We're at the top of that chart when it comes to how many corners we get in a game. So if you're going to tell me you're going to have 10, 12, 15 chances to take corners, well, guess what? Everton, I understand that's the only way that they can pretty much score. So they work on it a lot, obviously. is an emphasis, is a thing. But I don't see why we can't make it somewhat of an emphasis ourselves, considering it's good to have that ace in the hand. That's what I'm trying to get across. It's not a matter of criticizing him. It's a more of just saying it's like constructive criticism in that I would like to see our numbers grow up from corners, goals scored from corners, not 6%. Doesn't have to be 41% like Everton, but not 6% certainly. That's pathetic, considering that we have two of the best aerial duelists in the league. Then even go beyond that. Again, I would like to see us do better from the sheer fact of, yeah, we might not concede from corners that often, or set pieces that often, but whatever we have to do to dial in against those teams that are good against them, I'd like to see us be better, because it's cost us. And I don't think anyone, and not any of us can, with any rose to color glasses, could say that that's not the case. Says, question, you guys know we don't have a set piece coach, yet to concede the less amount in the Prem means we are doing something well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Defensive. Yeah.
We conceded a few ugly ones from set pieces. There's no denying that this season, but in general, we've been quite strong, haven't we, at defending them?
Actually, let me see. I do have that. If you give me a second, I can look that up. So I did have that. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Which is why we're 9 points clear.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is fine margins, bits and pieces that we're looking to improve, but the bigger picture is all very, very nice.
So Liverpool,
yeah,
we do have a set piece coach. His name is Aaron Briggs. He was initially hired as the first team individual development coach, but now focuses on set piece strategies. I knew because again, I've already done this piece before, or is a piece I have coming up. So when I was doing the research for on the areas of the game, because we did a show, I think it was like two days ago, we did a show where we were talking about the 3 areas of our game that we would like to see be improved on. Obviously, rotation and depth of our team was one of them. The other one was set pieces. Even though set pieces got spoken on last, it was probably the second most important thing, I think, in the conversation. But it ended up getting spoken on last. But again, Aaron Briggs is our set piece coach. So that's what it currently is. Whether Briggs is a part of Arne Slot's coaching staff, and his focus on set pieces is what he does. Aaron Briggs. I know Honesty's asking me, is going at me a little bit about the set piece guy, but
yeah, we don't have a kind of a Norwegian guy with a beard and long Viking hair that hops around on a thing that everybody knows and follows on Instagram with overly tight tracksuit pants, and a big coat. We don't have one of those guys. No.
Right.
Definitely
not. But yeah. The other guy, the guy that you're talking about, I can't pronounce his name, but here I'll put it in the chat. It's like Etienne, I believe his name is, or something like that.
Yeah. Total hipster.
I remember because he was in the piece that I read about it. This is the guy that you're talking about that was their set piece coach for Slot in Holland. And he wasn't able to get his paperwork, like Honesty said, to make the travels as well. You can thank, I guess, Brexit for that one. And but all the same, yeah. He does have a background though. Aaron Briggs does have okay, so I guess when Etienne gets there, we'll go from 6% to 35,
82. 82.
82%, I guess.
82.
Honestly,
He
I
scored
guess.
8 out of 10 corners, bullet
Yeah,
headers, top
so,
corner every single
I
time.
guess.
With a new routine every single corner.
Yeah, I guess. 77. There you go. 77. Like that number. But yeah.
Look, I think we can all agree more goals from corners are not essential to win. We've shown it's not essential, but it's definitely something that we could clearly do more of. With like you said, the amount of we don't have to be set piece FC. With the amount of corners we do get playing the way we do, we should at least be getting like it doesn't have to be perfectly worked routines either. Like Mike Cullen is like, why aren't we winning second balls in the box? Why isn't like other teams like they'll just drop to a player and you tap it in. We don't seem to make it like when it comes down to a bit of a scramble, a bit scruffy,
Second
pick
balls.
up a few goals that way. Yeah, second balls, okay, the corner doesn't work out, but Virgil gets it, keeper saves it, but usually it's cleared or it's picked up. Maybe they don't have. I know a lot of that will come down to stats where like because there's that famous one about like a Barcelona coach in La Masia. He was teaching like up to like the higher. He was never like a top guy. But if they were ever awarded a corner, he would just say to his player, kick it out for a goal kick. Just pass it out and he'll go for a goal. Just and restart the game immediately. Because he was just like, there's corners are for like dinosaurs swinging the ball into a box. He's just like,
Right.
kick the ball out and we get on with the game. Because he didn't even believe in, too many people get, because 0.000% or goals to be scored from an in-swinger, blah, blah, blah. That's why Barcelona took short corners for 20 years, So it is kind of a little bit of less emphasis on trying to score goals from there, definitely. But
Yeah.
I think we should
I mean,
have
it would
more.
be if he can do
Just
what he
picking
did.
it up. Just pick it up. No, just the second balls.
triple-
Finishers in the box.
I
Little
guess that would
finishers
be
in
an
the box.
improvement. That'd be a major improvement. That'd be tripling the percentage. That's what Feinhorn did last year from set pieces in the Eredivisie. That was their percentage from the bad boy, by the way, from the bad boy.
Oh, it was him, Reinen. Kevin Reinen. What was his name? Something like that. Etienne Reinen.
Etienne Reinen.
Yeah, he sounds like a hitman in a Tom Cruise movie based in Europe or something about hitman. Etienne Reinen.
I think it'll be a different. I'm hoping that he comes and makes a difference. I'm not saying, obviously, I want him to make a difference. And if he does, if he gets us up to the I guess, bad boys status of 17%, then fantastic. That's a lot. That's 3 times. That's almost 3 times what we're at right now. So if he can do that, kudos to that. But I would like to see more goals from set pieces, and
It's Clive Owen playing Essie and Ryan in the film. Brian.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is definitely spot on. Yeah. If they have a good budget, he will. If not, some unknown Belgian actor. But yeah.
Well, we're at the 2 hour mark. What it is I was gonna say
That would be fun, actually. Ian. If we did win, if it was us that won with a header from a corner, 1-0, that would be
Right.
beautiful. That
Right.
would be very, very beautiful. To out it,
That
to just
I hope
out
so.
Everton.
That I hope so, Ian.
Robbo, in swinger, Virgil, powers one in, top corner, 1-0. Defender with a header to score and win from a corner.
A Darwin header would be marvellous if he starts, wouldn't it? For him to
There you
No, it
go.
has to be a defender,
Darwin,
Lee. It has to be a defender. We have to out Moyes.
Oh,
It has
so
to be
be a
a central
defender.
defender.
Okay.
Scoring a goal.
It would
How
be
about-
my
Perfect
choice.
Moyes
But
result.
who can do it? Like, it's more likely to be Virgil, but I'd love Ibu to get another one. Like,
Well, like we spoke last night, that goal against Man City, it's like, where's that Ibu? Where's that Ibu from set pieces? The guy that just walked into the box and said, nah, get out of the way. Nodded in. Didn't even need to jump. He's lost that authority in the box. Another one of them. That'd be great.
Quanta was so close against Paris, wasn't he, with that header?
Yeah, he was unlucky twice.
Mm.
Shout. He's very unlucky, and yeah,
We are
funny how
dangerous, aren't we? Like, from crosses, we have got some danger. I hope we can do that on Everton tomorrow. Like, create some aerial chances. Like, you know, they're all right. They're reasonable in the air. Like, but I think it'd be great. I would just love to see a headed goal. Actually, like, we could get us in front. Any type of goal will do, but a headed one, particularly striking looking header, would be just what the doctor ordered.
As far as Joe Gomez is back in training, but he is not expected to be a part of. It's a big step back towards a comeback for this year, but he's not expected to. He's not expected to be available, or certainly not for Everton. But just the fact that he's training is a positive step. Definitely a positive step. And
well, hopefully Tarkowski used up all his luck against us in the last game, man.
That's right. I'm hoping for that 1-0. I predicted. I'm going for a 1-0. And I'd love it to be a header. Headed goal. Headed goal victory would be nice for a 1-0.
Anybody worried about Kwanzaa? I know there's quite a few people in, and just something I wanted to mention, because Bernie was mentioned to me earlier on. I know YouTube. If you think you've done something on YouTube, you think that's set forever. It's not. It goes cold a little bit, and you need to refresh your things. So if you are subscribed to the channel and you've got notifications turned on, it'd be a really good idea. Maybe just turn off the notifications, turn them on again. That shows YouTube that you're still engaged with the channel, because they're stopping sending out some notifications.
Yeah.
So if you are subscribed and you've got notifications turned on, if you have a chance, just turn them off and turn them back on again. And that refreshes, it lets YouTube know that you haven't gone cold, because it will do that. It'll just let us drop off a bit. So it'll let them know that you're still engaged every day. So anybody is doing that, that'd be brilliant if you could. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. But the notifications is a big thing. So that's your homework for tonight, is to turn them off.
It would be brilliant if they were on top of that thing themselves, because it's become something now, hasn't it? Like, to after refresh your subscriptions, or you just don't get the notifications.
They do, yeah. They'll literally turn it off for you. They will turn it off for you. They'll stop even stuff you're subscribed to. So yeah, It just lets YouTube know that I'm still actually interested in this channel. Because especially if you turned on notifications a year ago and you haven't done it.
It's like the power
just-
goes there or something, and there's a blackout, and when you come back, you can't remember like what channels you were subscribed to.
Yeah, it's a good idea to always refresh. Turn them off and on again.
Mm.
But no, I was just going to ask before.
Uh,
Is anybody worried about Kwanzaa tomorrow? Does anybody think he might be targeted? Does anybody think?
Nah, I
Might
think
be,
he'll be all
Roberts.
right in the game. I would imagine. I'm hoping so. Anyway, I'm hoping that we have a decent game. I've only dared to predict one goal, but yeah.
Well, if he's
like,
playing right back, he'll be up against who? Will he be up against that in lad?
it's
Nolante,
been,
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Yeah, it would be him. Yeah. Or it depends really, because they could play Harrison and put in Day in the 10. It depends, but I think they put in Day on the wing. I reckon. I'll probably against him.
Yeah, so
he seems to be effective
Give a
coming
test.
off the right. He actually seems to be effective. What I've seen of him coming in off the right, but he's got a goal, and you know that like so. Beto, like you said, Harrison, and can't think of many other attackers they've got now with Calvert-Lewin out. They haven't got a big squad like have they these days? What other attackers have they got?
I couldn't even. They got Beto.
With Calvert-Lewin out, I think there's Beto, there's Ndai.
Is Dwight McNeil still there? Is Dwight McNeil?
Neil,
Yes.
Neil,
I think he's
is
injured.
there, but Neil is injured.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
injured. Yeah, he's out long term.
Yeah, he's quite the main man for them for goals, like and assists.
Okay.
That's a shame for them. Like,
Well, here we go.
he's
Here we
tough.
go.
Yeah.
Here we go. I haven't
Ramsey
got a drum. I
is
haven't got a
still
kettle
in-
drum roll, but I wish I had one. But you know,
And Ramsey is still
He's on, yeah.
out on loan. But Pops is with us right now. Big up, Pops. How are you doing, brother?
Big up, big
There's
up.
a
Doctor's
doctor
here.
in the house.
The doctor's here.
Man, I'm good.
Evening, Pop.
What's up, man? Everybody good? Yeah, Lee. Where's JK, man?
Yeah, he's off building
Jacob's
an
in the
empire.
German
somewhere else,
forest.
Pop. He's off building an empire.
Yeah.
He's hanging out with Etienne, I think.
Working on some set pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. trying to
We need that,
take
we
some
need that.
notes. Yeah.
Yeah, we need that.
Frankfurt.
Yeah. We definitely need it. What's up? How you doing?
Cool. No, I was just in the chat trying to message, and I said, all right, let me see if I can jump in quick because you only got a certain number of characters, so sometimes you can't get
Yeah,
the point that you want
before
to
it
cross
cuts you off.
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this about the
I
set
was
pieces?
it was
or
beefing
is
the
this
Nante. I
about-
was beefing the Nante, and I was beefing the Nante. Not really. I heard him say we were doing all right, so he was coming from like, all right, we doing all right.
all right.
I ain't like that angle. But no, just on the rotation comment. I don't think anybody was anti. So I mean, obviously Endo is our guy. 12. We all know that the Gumshield Gorgon on our side is
Right,
our
yeah,
man.
of
And
course.
for a long time, we've been looking at him and saying, well, yeah, he should get more minutes. And to me, it's similar to Chiesa. It's that's what we want, but not the reality. So when people are saying, well, yeah, let's we can rotate, and you're saying, well, that's what we would like to see. Yeah, true. But he's never showed us that. So the arguments are like for the players, there is no evidence to support it. So as much as we have the discussion, and it's not to say that you can't criticize or you can't share your opinion or whatever the case may be, but it's almost like, well, at any point in time, has he shown us that he's willing to do that? No. Well, it maybe it is what it is. It's sort of like, unfortunately, it is what it is. And the Southampton match leading into Paris Saint-Germain, leading into the cup final, to me was the writing on the wall where you say, well, if you can't beat Southampton with our other players, I'm not going to sort of degrade or disregard them, but if you go into the Southampton match with basically the same 11 that you can go into Saint-Germain and the cup final, then there's something wrong on your end. And that's just something that we sort of accept. And yes, we're right to discuss it and talk about it, but to me, it's one of them. if you ask me to pick the 11 for Southampton that I would play versus what I
Mhm.
think would play, it'd be two different
Mhm.
things. But in my mind, I'm saying I can pick the 11 that Mr. Locke's going to pick because all season long, this is what he said to me. Them 3, them 4, and 3 of them 4. All season long. So it was one of them. You just have to sort of give up and say, all right, cool. And then I agree with Laszlo in the press conference. He was essentially defending himself and saying, "Oh, yeah, you wanted to see rotation, no problem. I gave you that in the FA Cup, and that was an embarrassment." And for me, when we sort of had the discussion again in and around the FA Cup, I think there was a League Cup match as well. It was one of those. All right, if we don't see Chiesa here, we're never going to see him, and we saw him. And when we lost, I said, yeah, I think that's the last time we're going to see him. And it was Ringlets was one of them. You said to yourself, yeah, he isn't going to get much time. And then subsequently came out and said, yeah, now that we're out the FA Cup, there's not a lot of space for these guys. To me, again, it was me just taking him literally because I said, all right, I'm not a big press conference person because in all honesty, I think Klopp used to wind up some of the press, some of the reporters by just talking a lot of rubbish in my mind. So I never used to follow the press conferences. Mr. Locke seems to be a little bit more sort of direct and a little bit more acid too, because you can see he gets a little upset with something. Not upset, but he sort of, yeah, you trying to test me? All right, let me show you something. And he sort of correct the journalist.
Right.
But he says things that are a little bit more direct. So I listened to what he said and I said, well, all right, so far he's just been saying these things and he's direct. When he said literally, you're not going to see a lot of these guys, I said, all right, man, you remember what he said. Whenever we were picking the team, it's like, you remember what he said, all right? Yeah, as much as we want to see him or him, it's going to be him and him. And he lived true to what he said. And right or wrong from us, we ended up where we are. If Ibu doesn't make the mistake, he and Allison get it sorted out. Do we beat Paris Saint-Germain 1-0 and go through 1-0 after being 1-0? Well, we really didn't play that well. Yeah, I mean, who cares? We would have been in, right? Outside of that mistake. I mean, up to the final. The final was, for me, Newcastle wanting something more than we did. That's it. If we played another 11, I don't think it would have been different, to be honest. If he started and not him or whatever, Dan Burn and Joe Linton, to me, said, I'm going home with a medal tonight. And on our side, there were very few who seemed to want that medal. That's just me giving them more credit than us saying, well, we should have beaten them because we're better than them. Yeah, we're higher in the league, and generally speaking, I think we are better than them. But when you go into a fight and somebody wants it more than you, sometimes you can lose.
Then simple. My simple pushback would be this, though. You brought up about Southampton, for instance. You're saying about, oh well, we rotate, we didn't rotate, or we didn't. We couldn't rotate simply because of the Plymouth result.
No. All right, let me do it again. I said if we were picking an 11 for Southampton, if all of us on this panel said pick your 11 for Southampton, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister probably don't start.
Right.
And that's just me. I'm throwing it out there. The panel can say yes or no if they agree. Salah probably doesn't start. You look at the back five and you might say, well, all right, maybe I'll put Costas in and leave Robbo out because I'm playing Robbo for both PSG and Newcastle. So all of a sudden that's 6 or 7 changes, which is probably more than you usually would make. So it's not going to be that many. It would be at most maybe 4 or 5, let's say, right? So now we got to scale it back a little bit, and that's our 11. He didn't do that. But then he came out basically at halftime saying, well, you know what? I did make a mistake because I had to sub him and him.
He made a substitute.
Acknowledge that there was an error.
So that was, that was
acknowledge his error.
He acknowledges his error.
Prior to that, he had never given us evidence of that, though. So the issue the issue in and around the lack of rotation was something that you saw as a truism. It wasn't something we made up in our heads. It was, yeah, guys, I understand you like Chiesa. Everybody, again, probably would say, yeah, Chiesa should have played more minutes. Wherever you want to put him. More up front on the left, because you moved other players. He could fit somewhere else too. Put him on somewhere else. because they weren't working. They weren't working. Salah, wherever you had six up front, you could have given him a run, but he never did it. So my problem was I can't put him into a team where I'm not seeing Mr. Locke do it. If you're saying to me, predict the lineup, Kiesa's on the bench. But Chiesa,
you can have Chiesa.
That's not me saying he's bad. That's me just saying he isn't playing him.
The issue and where I would say is where since we're playing spades, I'll put my trump card down here, and that is we played Southampton with a Trainioni, with a Tyler Morton in a midfield, okay, with McAllister, but in the midfield, and beat them beat them 2-1 in horrible conditions at their ground. And without a Mohamed Salah, yes, that was in the cup. Mohamed Salah, that was the last time we played him because we played them earlier. We played Southampton earlier that year and beat them 3-2. But again, beat them 3-2. But that was with goals from like Dominic Szoboszlai. But in this particular game, what and why we're saying that rotation could have been utilized is because we've seen that we were able to beat them with a Harvey Elliott, not even a Chiesa. You don't even bring a Chiesa into the equation. You can still have Chiesa on the bench if you want. We had Harvey Elliott starting on the right side for Mohamed Salah. And
in the cup.
Yeah, in the League Cup.
All right, let me ask you another question. Let me just ask you a quick question. In the League Cup, did Southampton play their League 11?
Yeah, they pretty much had their League 11, except for maybe their mostly, up to Southampton understood that they're not winning anything, so that was like a big game for them. They played everyone that they could, or everyone that they had available to start. I think the only person that really didn't start was what's his name, the goalkeeper, the former Arsenal goalkeeper.
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale.
Yeah, he didn't start. He probably would have started, but that's the only person that didn't start.
12.
Or
I'm not arguing against you. So you said that you can put on your trump card. I'm not arguing against you, No, I'm not trumping you. I'm just saying this isn't an argument against you. What I'm just saying is I'm rationalizing why I wasn't on board to the degree that you are, if you get what I'm saying. So you just use the cup as a reference to the rotation, which is exactly what he said. As long as we're in the cup, that's where I'm using him and saying this is what he said to me. This is information he gave me. As long as we're in that cup, in the cups, you'll see the other players.
But I'm using it as a marker to go against. But I'm using it as a mark. You're saying what have you shown me? Well, this is a team that we directly played head to head with a heavily rotated squad, and
in the cup though. In the cup though, right?
Why you keep saying
no?
That even matter?
Because
if we don't win that game,
I'm establishing the pattern. In the league, you never saw that though. In the league, you've not seen that. In the league, you've not seen that, right?
In the league, we haven't seen.
Yeah, in the league campaign, you've not seen Trainioni and Harvey Elliott.
But what my point is that if we are able to rotate that heavily in a cup game, we don't have to go a completely new 11. But what we are saying is we could have definitely rotated some players that need the rest. So let me just answer something from the
This
chat
isn't an
too.
argument, I'm not arguing.
Yeah,
you on this point.
Can I just put one thing in?
Please, Laszlo, go ahead.
One thing I was going to say about, there was a question that saying that but we've lost the last two games. That's what Kevin's saying, right? And he's like talking unproven chess, no wins the last two games. What I am saying is that, yes, we haven't won the last two games, but what has been our only output of offense in those games? we can all pick and choose when we want to like say what, like when we can say, oh well, these players played well. They did. They played well enough to score. They played well enough to give us some type of output that we needed.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to get across. I'm not saying that the difference is that, like, I truly do think that Nunez would have been a better choice than having Hata in our forward position, because he, against PSG, for instance, simply because he's a bigger target, and he's able to utilize the physicality and the pace that he has is going to put PSG more at bay. When we've seen them, when he has been a part of that, or when he has been on the pitch, PSG, it showed that was the case, and thus we scored. When it comes to Southampton and the likes, I just saying that we already saw a well-rotated team against them. League Cup, Premier League, I get it. It's still, you're still playing against that team. Okay? It'd be a different story if I was saying, oh, we saw this against Southampton, and now we're going up against, I don't know, Villa, or we're going up against another team. Then I can say, okay, that's not exactly like for like, but it pretty much is a like for like situation in the sense that we're going up against that Southampton team. So that's what my argument is, and the reason why I'm saying it with so much chest, as Kevin's putting it. But I'll allow for the others to comment as well.
I just wanted to put. It was just that, to me, I thought what I agreed with what Pops was saying was that we're even the most kind of like, I was the whole kind of way through. It's like, I just, like Pops was saying, I read the data, and I don't mean the stats. I mean, I look at what's given to me. The guy never changed his team, right? He never ever changed his team. So when we're doing team predictions, like I go, I might like this, I might like that, but what's Arne Slot going to do? Same back four, same midfield three, and like Pops is saying, 3 from 4 up front, right? Maybe it might be this guy, that guy, but even the most kind of Slot never changes things. He never does this. Even the most kind of that kind of person was looking at that Southampton game going, oh, we're definitely going to make changes here, though. Yeah, not mass changes, but we will definitely make more than the usual one. Everybody was like that, even in the kind of Slot never does anything different. But this Southampton game at home, when we've got blah, blah, blah coming up, we've got to be, surely he's going to make changes here. That even the most kind of conservative, Arnie never changes his team. He will do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when he didn't, it was like, oh, okay. So even in this round now, you're still not changing anything. I think that's what Pop said. Then it's like, wow, the writing is on the wall here. This guy is not going to fucking change for anything. Like, I'm out here, even the guy, I'm like, yeah, definitely bring in some legs in that. And he didn't do it. It was like, fuck, okay, so why would we think he's going to change anything from now on? That was the one game where he had a big chance to change things, and he didn't. So it's like, I'm going to stop predicting anything other than the straight 11 from now on to the end of the season. Because that's obviously, if he isn't going to change this Southampton game, which Nilante rightly predicted was going to come back and bite us in the arse, well, he's never going to change. So that, to me, it's like, that's just Arne Slot now. That showed you who he was. That's his thing. You know, we could have easily, like you said, could have been Endo, Benelli, whoever it was, against Southampton at home, and we would have beaten these boys. We would have, even against him, he shows, no, I'm not going to do it. It's like, right, okay, that's hardcore. And it's come back and bite him in the arse against PSG and Newcastle, definitely. So, yeah, the guy is stubborn, you know, whatever you want to call it. But that, like I said, that Pops is saying, that game was the eye opener. It's like, wow, if this guy isn't going to make subs or rotation in this game, then it's strict shit. Right or wrong. I'm not saying it's. I'm not trying to debate it, or I'm just saying that it's like, whether you believe it or not, it's like, fuck me. If he was ever going to change his team, he's going to change it now, and he didn't even do it. Yeah, 2 minor little nothing changes. You know, everyone's expecting
3 changes technically, but 2 changes. I mean, Curtis Jones is pretty much been the starter on and off. Simicast was a change. He has Simicast.
That was an obvious one. That was a
and
real
then he
obvious
had
one.
Nunez start
That was
in
an
that
easy
game.
one.
He had
Yeah.
Nunez start.
That was a really
I
easy
think that
one.
might have been, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it just like Pops is saying,
But
like that was a real
again,
wow. If you don't know who this coach is,
yeah,
this is who he is.
yeah. But
He
the
doesn't
thing
even
about it is that
after the
the thing is to go to Nalante's point too, or something Nalante said before, and something I agree with too. Give him, if you're not going to play Nunez in that game, give him a 90-minute start then. In the Southampton game, can he play 90 minutes? No.
Oh, totally. Him,
He can't.
Endo, Jones,
But he
Elliott,
didn't.
but it wouldn't have been a detriment to the
Hatta
team.
still came in, and then Hatta gets to start against PSG the next game.
But no,
12th?
we even said it before the game started. It's like, what if you woke up this morning and found out Mo Salah had food poisoning and he was out for a game and Chiesa had to start? Would that be the end of the world? No, it wouldn't. So why not? It's not like, oh, we can't change it. It's the inflexibility is
It
to
wouldn't
me
be the end
in
of the
that
world,
game.
but I bet you that he probably would start Diaz on the right side.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like sometimes you can make changes, and it doesn't have to be detrimental. But yeah, the guy is clearly very, very stubborn, very, very, you know. But we've been around the houses on that one plenty of times. So,
The other
Pops,
trigger
what's your
would have
score
been
prediction?
the final.
What's your score
The fact that
prediction,
he said we
Pops?
got 3 finals, that was the other trigger for me. When he said 3 finals, I said, all right, I see what you're doing then. You're running these men 3 games in a row. All right, cool. 2-0.
2-0.
Back to basics. Back to basics. Agenda on. Ali. Come on, Ali. Clean sheets. Golden gloves.
sheets.
Come on.
How about the clean sheets?
That's what I'm hoping for, a clean sheet and a 1-0 win. Hope we keep them out, shut them out, get a 1-goal win. That'd do me fine. Be a good way to start the running, the right way to start the running.
Look, I'm gonna respond.
What is that
Obviously,
comment, by the way.
Oh.
What is this now? It's not to say that if you don't play someone, you don't trust them. I do. That's being Arnie Slot. But probably I find the other ones a bit better. Otherwise, I would make a different choice. So you're basically saying you just have favorites?
yes, it is. It's point blank. It's point
That's what
blank.
it sounds like when you say that kind of
It
comment.
just is point blank.
You have
It's
favorites.
kind of look. I know we've been going on, and I know me and Pops have been discussing in the group. And Pops, I agree. What I agree with you is the thing of Arnie. He's stubborn. What he wants to do is what he wants to do. That's fine. Regardless whether we agree or not. That's not the problem. That's fine. We're here debating. My issue, like I said, our discussion is thing is like it's not rocket science. It's like I said, and yes, before everyone's till negative. No, like I said, we're here to discuss. I'm just a guy that I'm not going to beat around the bush. If it's first, second, if I don't like, we all got opinions. I'm going to say it regardless. Alex Ferguson, all the great managers have all been criticised. So we'll just get that one out of the way. My thing is that you're in a great position. And look, I've said it, like Pops, the Plymouth game. Look, I don't even hold Slot anything. He needed to rotate his Plymouth. The 11 should have done the job, and he didn't. And I'm not even so that's nothing to do with Slot. That's on the players. But my thing is the fact that for me, since the Man United game January, and this is where me discussing, I can see deficiency. Yes, we were winning and drawing games, some good games, bad, but there was a tiredness, there was a lack of we're getting away with a little bit. And those are the times where, again, my point is not that Endo and Kaiser should start every game, but there's certain times that just start the guy. Just like look, Grav and as Brian, Grav, Matt, Dom, and you probably might feel the same. I know Slot is the manager. We just need to use them. You can tell these guys are burning on energy. Just use them, play them for a game, something, rest them, put them on the bench. If they don't do the job, come on. And that's my thing. It's a squad game. We all know this. The Premiership is a squad game. Yes, we're gonna win. So fair enough. And I'm very appreciative what Slot's done, but I've got to call it as I see it's a squad game. You can see these players are burning, and yes, we're coming on whims, but this has been a long time coming. And then you've got the biggest, near enough the biggest week, 2, a cup final, and
and the PSG game. And yeah, as Brian said, the Southampton game, but he should have done, it shouldn't have been the Southampton game. It should have been done way before then. These players, like I said, you watch these players, the Endo, the, you know, just help me out. Not Endo, not Chiesa, Elliot, stuff like that. Look,
Elliot.
if they were rubbish players, if they were dead players, if they didn't have anybody for work done jobs for us, then cool, no problem. But you know this, and the thing is with Chiesa is the fact that Brian told me some of these press conference quotes, and I think they're just a bit annoying. If I'm honest, like I said, you're saying, oh, but I rotated against Plymouth, blah blah blah, but. Hold on. So that means, and again, I'm Liverpool FC. I'm not PFC. If Mo has 5-6 stinkers in a row, just say hypothetically speaking, so that means you automatically start. No, you give these players the chance. Like PK, my thing is, Chiesa not a bum. Why not play him? Who says he's going to have a stinker? Rest the players, let them play, let them do the thing. That's it. It's a squad game. It's a squad game, and it kind of showed. It's just the fact that we create such a gap, Pops, in the league, that we're in the position to win it. So yeah, I'm appreciated, but you can't be arrogant. This we know this league will eat you up. All the top players use the squad.
Yeah, he's
sorry, Lee. 1 second. Lee, 1 second. Sorry, Lee. Just 1 second. And I'll let. Sorry, Lee. No, it's all good. I know you want to make your point. Sorry, Lee. And that was my thing, Pops. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we can agree that Slot is made his thing, but again, it's arrogance for me. And you're saying the one thing I will disagree with you. You're saying the cup, if we would have rotated, it would have made a difference. Well, personally, if we rotated, I think it would. We might not have won the game, so I'm not saying guaranteed we would have won the game. We can't predict that, but there would be more effort. There would be more fight. We would have been in the game more, in my opinion, because it's been the writing's been on the wall, and like I said, we've just got away with it because we've got players with moments, and that is my only thing, Pops, with that. That for me, and again, when he's saying certain things on the press conference, like you said, context of words, but I think it's a little bit of arrogance on his part, and I don't like that. Now, if he doesn't like certain players, fair enough. In the summer, do what you need to do. But everyone is a key. All 23 of these players, regardless of what you think, key. We all of us have seen bigger managers put stuff to the side. They know this player's gone in the summer. Use these players and then fine. You want to get rid of them, no problem. I just think in 1 or 2 games, I'm not asking for much for these players to play. The players are running the edge, Pops. Just play the games. Like for Endo, for me, as I said, and I know Mr. Locke has got his thing. That we can agree with that, Pops. That's the thing. My thing is that that's my criticism, is that you give him the old, oh yeah, he does that great. I don't care. The guy hasn't stopped 1 Premier League game this season. Are you telling me you cannot rotate Gravenberch, Matt, for 1 game? And that's it. That is my issue with him. Apart from that, no problem. That's it.
Enzo and Elliott in the Southampton game. I mean, he admitted he shouldn't have started Szoboszlai, but he shouldn't have started Gravenberch either. Endo and Elliott should have started in midfield there, along with McAllister. But he didn't do that, did he? He gambled that he'd have enough juice left for the big games, but he just ran out of steam, didn't he?
Right.
He's just he has sort of ignored Chiesa pretty much since Chiesa became back fit. I thought at that one point, against Brentford when he made a difference, I would start seeing a bit of him now. It looked like we would, and it just didn't happen. And I was just wondered, why? Why wasn't he worth a few more minutes here and there?
You could even go as far as to say if that's not the case, other than possibly Trent Alexander-Arnold on a possible leave, but that we obviously see that Connor is a resource that he uses this year as one of those 14 that he likes to put in rotation, at least. Then I guess we shouldn't expect that much, or we shouldn't expect really much in the summertime then. As in, what's the point? Expecting anything in the summertime.
That's the interesting part, though. It's 12, isn't it? That's really, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is still Klopp's team," which I find really annoying, to be honest. But anyhow, and let's get him his players in the summer. And I say, all right, is that what you do? Because we look at other teams and laugh at the fact that they have some from him and some from him and some from him and some from him. So if we're going to reconstruct the team in his image? Are we now happy that he's going to be the man that's carrying us for the next whatever number of years? Because his contract isn't long term at this point in time, anyhow. So unless he's doing some sort of extension, is it more about getting players for what we think is the new sort of iteration of LFC, as opposed to, well, this is Mr. Locke's team and he needs 2 of these, 3 of them, and 2 of them? Because if it doesn't work and he is as rigid as some people think and stubborn as some people think, if things aren't working, then what? Are you stuck with him because you've now put in his players, quote unquote? And the funny thing is, he said, I was good with this team. Well, I mean, and I was good with it as well, but he said, those are his words. He wanted one man. He didn't get the one man he wanted, which to me was unfortunate because he only wanted one and he didn't get that one. Now, it's obvious from what we've seen this season that there are some players that you might as well say, well, it doesn't look like you're ever going to be part of this, whatever this is. And then you still got to figure out who's staying around for whatever the new this is. So summer to me is going to be a bumper. But just run me number 20. That's all I'm saying right now. Let me get my hands on the big one and celebrate. Yeah. Forget all of the noise with who's leaving, who's staying, who's buying, who's selling. Yeah. Give me that. Let's get the parade. Let's enjoy the season. Quality up or down. Let's enjoy the fact that we only won the Prem, guys. It's only the Prem. Don't ever forget.
I would
only won the Prem.
Just a little league title.
Yeah.
It's not the quadruple. It's not the treble. It's not even the double. You're only going to win the Prem, guys. Never forget.
It's the main.
Never forget.
This
low budget Prem, where there's no quality and City fell off and Arsenal got injuries and the league's poor and look at the quality. Give me the trophy. Give me my trophy.
I heard an Arsenal fan today.
Oh my days.
Say, enjoy your hollow victory, because you only won it because it blah 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 blah.
Yes.
And this is a YouTuber person or an internet person. It's like this is a normal person. This is how deep it's gotten.
Serious.
To him. Normal Arsenal fans.
Tell me you're joking. Nah,
enjoy your little hollow victory.
You're joking, Laszlo. You're joking. That's internet speed. Everything I just did was for the internet. That's not real people. No one I know personally is going to tell me what I just said. Nobody. And I know Arsenal fans, Everton fans, Newcastle fans, United fans. There might be 1 or 2 of the United ones that I know that might try to sneak it, but they're too far down, so I can't really hear them properly. So I'll ask them to send a fax up the table to other people to see if it reaches me.
Well, I reckon if you're out there, man, you'd have to scuba dive to find those United fans. Right down there near the bottom. That's you gotta go scuba. You gotta go down.
I'm not doing that now. They gotta send it to me. They gotta send it. Send the octopus up and let him pass it to Everton, and then Everton can pass it up to Arsenal, and Arsenal can bring it and give it to me.
I'll ask you, Pops. I had I think our lineup is pretty much set up in stone tomorrow, but mine was Ali, Robbo, Ibu, VVD, Kwanzaa, Mac, Don, Grav, Gakpo on the left, Diaz in the middle, Salah on the right. What's your starting 11? That's my as a template. Just would you change?
You did that
because that was the same.
I feel like that's my 11. That's the usual back five, right? The usual suspects.
Yeah, Ali. Well, Kwanzaa, obviously.
Robbo,
Kwanzaa, Ibu, VVD. The midfield 3, Grav, Dom,
the
Mac.
usual. And then the front 3, Gackers, Mo.
Diaz in the middle, Salah on the right.
Yeah, spot on.
Because that was 12th as well. So
100.
Can you see that?
That's me.
You see
that's me. Rubber stamp. Yeah, that's it. CJ Endo on the bench.
So are you cool with Kwanzaa right back? Do you think he's gonna big game
cool.
for him? Can he step up?
Not cool, but it's kind of like no Joey G, no Conor Bradley, no Trent. The Endo has played that right back argument came in. I'm thinking, but you need a centre back still to cover, and you need a central midfielder still. So I think Endo still goes to the bench. Yeah, I guess we gamble with Kwanzaa right back because there's nothing else. The other option would be to stick either McConnell or Curtis Jones at right back. That would be the only other option, right? Because then that would leave you with Kwanzaa as a proper centre back coverage if you want. But I think he'll go with Kwanzaa. He could. All right, let's just do this. If we throw CJ in at right back and ask him to sort of press a little bit more so we're more attacking, does that sit better with us? So we take the game to Everton and not defend, not sort of expect him to defend as much. But I mean, that just means Ibu's going to have to do a little bit more work. If you kind of slide Robbo into that left center, Verge center, Ibu sort of more to the right, and have Curtis kind of
I'd rather see
midfield.
Endo, but I think when you have an Endo on the bench, I mean, as much as it gives you basically a DM, especially if you're starting Kwanzaa at right back, if you have Endo on the bench, it gives you a DM and a centre half that can come on. That's one of the real true qualities of Endo. When you have him on the bench, you can see how it's playing out.
Yeah, that's why I'm
And
keeping him on the bench. He's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
He can go different spots.
Yeah. Whereas Kwanzaa, if you needed to bring him on and be like, no, but Endo is like, okay, we can shuffle it up now. We can put him here and him there. I'd love to see Endo play right back, to be honest. I reckon be class at it. But that, like I said, then that gives you that guy off. It takes that guy off your bench, that like DM, centre half, and even maybe a right back.
I'm with you.
Or
I'm with you in
back three.
I wish we'd have brought him on in the Goodison derby late on. I wish he'd have been on for that. He might have been in the middle to stop Tarkovsky after it got through.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of and again, sorry, we should say it out loud. A very, very happy birthday to Dara
Yes.
Azizi, one of our
Happy
main
birthday,
contributors.
Dara.
A man lucky enough to be born on April Fool's Day. Lucky enough, I suppose.
But you ain't the fool, Dara. You ain't the fool.
No.
So don't worry about
No.
It's
that.
not a joke. It's not a joke.
No, exactly. But yeah, exactly. A great contributor. A knowledgeable man. A travelled man, very worldly man. Only about 5 minutes around the corner from 12th man as well.
Indeed.
In Phoenix. So yeah. Throw in your score prediction there tomorrow. Darren, anybody that hasn't put in a score prediction, put it in the chat. Even a starting 11, if you want to, if you disagreed with myself, Pops, and 12 man, have actually agreed on a starting 11. So mark the date in your diary. It's not an April Fool's joke.
Imagine that.
It's not an April Fool's joke. Me, Pops, and 12
Someone
man
needs to
have all
screenshot
agreed
this.
on a. Yeah, exactly. Mark the date in your diary. April Fool's Day 2025. The last and the first time Pops, 12 man, and Laszlo all agreed on something together. There you go.
Like Nunez is starting. Nunez is Nunez all day. There you go.
El Pantera.
I would like him to play a role. I'd like him to be able to play a role. Like, even if it's not from the start, to come off the bench and to be able to do something.
Yeah, do some cult hero shit. If you're going to be a cult hero and leave, do some cult hero shit. Come on the 90th minute and score a goal.
This is someone's chance to leave their mark, to be honest.
I mean, he's done it. I mean, it's just sad though, because I've seen people say that Nunez is not only the worst signing of Liverpool history, but that he's done nothing for our team this season. And I hear those comments and I'm just like, all right. You realize that we might be trailing in this pursuit of silverware for number 20 if it wasn't because of a lot of different characters that have definitely shown their merit and have played well for us when asked. So, and it's been a good year for a lot of players that some had given up on last year, but have definitely shown some promise this year with their acceleration in performances this year. Because I would say Cody's definitely stepped it up to a higher level this year than he was on last year, and he was at a good level last year.
Yeah, he was in and out. Yeah.
Minus if you take out the injury, hurt his progression last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Even this one that he's just coming back from, that stopped his tracks.
Mm-hmm. And you could
Yeah,
say it's funny because like when people talk about Cody, there are a lot of people that were like, he's not Liverpool level and the whole nine. But I was just made a point of saying how Cody was someone that guy, the game he got injured, he scored after being injured. He got injured. He powered through the injury, scored the goal, and then was taken off the pitch for the injury.
It's a wonder Virgil could play again after what Pickford did to him in the derby that year to destroy our chances of retaining the title. I mean, that was just like, it was knee high, that tackle, wasn't it? Like, it was just so aggressive and like over the top and that. I've not forgot that and won't. Like, every goal that goes past him since, like, I'm extra satisfied with. I hate the little shit.
The smile on your face. When you do that, Lee, just sit next to your dad and just say, "How do you like them apples?"
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, that little smile
Yeah.
you doing that, Virgil.
Coffee apples.
Exactly.
There you go.
Do you remember Richarlison's tackle on Thiago in the same game? Richarlison done that.
Oh, we all remember it.
Oh,
Assault FC day. Assault FC. Nothing was done.
Well, they almost bottled it. They almost bottled it, but they got through today. They should have been. That should have been 2-2. It should have been 2-2.
Oh, you're talking about them not? Oh, the red side of North London.
FC, yeah. They should have been 2-2.
Yeah.
Munoz had an absolute sitter and he heads it wide. He didn't even hit the net. He didn't he had an absolute sitter, and it goes wide. But then again, it goes to show you. I mean, Saka has the same style or type of goal or opportunity, and he scores his goal opportunity. Munoz,
Starboy.
Yep. And then Munoz, of course, comes back later on and scores. So go figure. Go figure.
Yeah. Who've Arsenal got next, actually?
It's full of Everton. It's the reverse. It's the reverse of our fixtures.
Everton. Oh, yeah. Oof.
Yeah, Everton next.
That's going to be a hard game. Yeah. That will be, Goodison, yeah.
It's not our business, though.
Did you see TAA sign?
I wouldn't like to go
I was saying this. It's all about us.
We handle our
us
business. Doesn't matter what they do. Doesn't
Look in the
matter
mirror,
what
guys.
they do.
Look in the mirror. Forget the rear view mirror. Just look in the mirror.
Let's start. Yeah, it's all about us. We need to do this job, and it needs to start tomorrow. It really does need to start. I was just saying, Pops. I was going to ask you guys a question afterwards, just off topic, but I was saying we just need to bounce back from what happened. Obviously, it's not nice those 2 weeks the way it went. So we just need. And again, Pops, you might disagree. There's a tiny little bit of pressure on us because people, little whispers, Chinese whispers, and we just need to make a statement. We don't even need, I don't even care. We don't even need to have a fantastic game. Just win the game. Just get the W, and we'll take it from there.
It's the first time this season, really, that there's been any pressure, in inverted commas, on Arnie because of results. Before this, we'd only lost one meaningful game, which was the Forest game. And then this comes twice in a few days. It's the biggest setback we've had since he's been manager. So, we need to see how we bounce back from it. I'm hoping that we bounce back well. Couldn't be a better game from the point of view of hopefully the hype's up for it. See how it goes. Yeah. I think we've got enough good players to beat them. We've got enough good players coming back. I mean, they've got the same thing coming back from the international break. But we have been piss poor on our returns from the international break, haven't we? Forest was one. Another one was Southampton away when we come back, and we were awful. But Everton have had players away as well, and they'll be out of the club rhythm. So, same for both sides. No, it can be a leveler, though, the international break for smaller sides.
Yeah. Not as much as us, Lee, because they don't have as much in the nationals as we do. But it doesn't really matter, regardless. We need to just do our job, and we should.
Mm-hmm. Mhm, mhm. Very true. Very true.
All
right, people.
Yeah, sorry, go on, talk.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, definitely bring it on tomorrow. It's going to be a very important, hopefully century mark game for us. Hopefully with the win. Hopefully maybe even see Mo Salah get to and maybe even get past Stevie G's mark of 9 goals against Everton. He sits on 8 currently, so
Do you
hopefully
know
he
what,
can do.
Valanti? I've just thought how few Everton players probably did go out on international duty. There's not that many, is there?
That's really
No,
I thought there was a
the
fair.
tea lady and the
Yeah,
groundsman, they went on the national duty this weekly.
Was Pickford on duty for England, was he?
Yeah, he was doing slide tackles as per usual.
Yeah, because Branthwaite and Tarkovsky got a rest. That
No,
O'Brien, does he play anywhere?
Braithwaite was with the under 21s.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Does Gay still play internationals?
Senegal, yeah, I think he's still in the squad. I'm not sure if he played for Senegal in the qualifier, World Cup qualifier.
Yeah. We got Decore. Does Decore still play internationals? He probably does, doesn't he?
Nope,
No, as he stopped.
Francois.
Well, I mean, we've just got to get on with it tomorrow, haven't we? Even if some of our players are a bit. I mean, we come on with the weekend, didn't we, the players? So we've had till midweek. That's one difference from usual. After international breaks, we usually come back and play straight away, don't we? That weekend, but we got these extra 3 days here, and hopefully that'll be good for us because we need it. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just got to do the business tomorrow. I'm fairly confident we will. I think we can come out on top in a narrow victory. Like that'll do me. That'll do me fine.
I was just looking to see top 5 Liverpool players with the most goals versus Everton. Technically, he's got. It says Steven Gerrard's got 10, but there was a mark that said he has 9. I guess that's in the Premier League. He must have a goal against them in a cup game or something along those lines. But
scored a penalty against Everton in the cup game, I think, didn't he? Penalty or free kick? He definitely scored a free kick against Everton. Remember that?
Possibly, yeah. That's interesting. It's not a surprise who's got the most, and Salah has a long way.
He used to take the odd free kick. Gerrard was an underrated free kick taker, but he used to take them. Okay, I'm pretty sure he scored a free kick against Everton. He just slammed it into the top corner or something. Could be that one. That could be a cup game.
He's got a mountain to climb to get to number 1. Ian Rush has 25 goals in this derby.
Oh, no one's beating that. That ain't
That's
it.
ridiculous.
That's just stupid. Just move on next.
25 goals in 36 appearances. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, I used to know an Evertonian who told me Ian Rush spoiled my childhood.
No wonder.
It can't have been the only
36.
time. Yeah, but that's what he said to me.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that.
He said it quite earnestly and passionately as well. Like he was telling the truth. I have to believe the guy.
Yeah.
I think it revolves around the 2 FA Cup finals. They were subsequently bigger years ago, the FA Cup finals, and to play Everton in them twice, 2 times was massive.
I will tell you this, though.
That was like a World Cup.
What is equally to their credit, I will give Everton credit in saying that
there was no Europe in them days. We were banned from Europe, so like being up for the double was like the best season you could have, and we were up for the double like every season there, weren't we? After we bought Barnes and Beards and a few others, Houghton and Aldridge.
Well, I was just going to say that I will say this, though. Dixie Dean for Everton has a pretty incredible scoring rate himself. I will give him that.
Oh, God, yeah. Dixie Dean. No one's beating that 60 in a season.
He's
a lot
got
of his headers,
he's
a
got
lot of his headers with them old massive weighty balls. And that must have, we
pause,
were
but,
talking about that the weight
nine-
of the old balls for headers, weren't we, the other night?
the way you said it kind of sounded creepy. 19
Yeah.
goals
Yeah, no.
and
60 league goals.
19 goals and 17 appearances for Dixie Dean. That's a good rate considering 19
No,
goals,
but
17
Dixie Dean got
appearances.
60 in one season. League.
It's unknown if he got dementia from
Yeah.
having all those heavy old leather balls.
But that's just Everton. That's just Everton versus
Yeah.
Liverpool. That I'm
Oh,
talking about.
Dixie Dean is one of those like mythical type people. It's like
Yeah,
he
he is the Everton, the
60
peak of
league
Everton
goals in
legend.
one
Dixie
season.
Dean. He deserves to be. He was that prolific. Like, you know, he is for a reason. They're massive, like, star name.
Yeah, it's a great name too, Dixie Dean.
It is a great name, Dixie Dean. It is a brilliant name.
But people, we're gonna let you guys do your thing so you can get some rest for tomorrow's game. We are slated to do a roll call tomorrow. I most likely will not be able to take part in tomorrow's roll call, but I will say that hopefully
That sounds
some
like
of
a
the
job
guys.
for Laszlo.
Yeah. Wait, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't putting you up for it like that. But possibly one of the guys will be able to handle the duty of doing roll call tomorrow so that we can get this in for a good, hopefully 100th win. That's how I'm looking at it, a 100th win. So anything you guys want to say before we do our thing?
No, just enjoy the game tomorrow. Thanks, Pops, coming
Yeah.
in. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Everybody, legends, remember, roll call tomorrow, 1 hour before kickoff. Doesn't get easier than that. You know where to be.
Yeah. Do you have anything coming up on your show, Pops, today, or?
We did our preview last night.
Yeah, I know. I heard Barnes talking about his guy Robbo. That's his guy, right? Good stuff.
I'm not sure if we can be able to do a watch long because I'm definitely gonna be at work 3 p.m. night time, so that's a horrible kickoff time to be honest. We'll probably do a review tomorrow night though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's cool. And Nalante, do you have anything coming up on LRFC?
Yeah, we might do a show me and JK tomorrow, and then obviously preview just more just focus on the game, and some old school times, some classic Liverpool memories of the Merseyside derby. So yeah, we've got that coming up. Big up the chat always. Big up Pops. Always a pleasure, Pops. Debating with yourself, sir. And yeah, big up, man. I mean, you know the Jam Beijing Reds, Pops and Co. and the madmen over there and that side of town. But yeah, all good, man. Yeah,
Streets.
Exactly. But big up everyone. Big up Pops, Brian, chat, and yeah, let's get this W.
That's right. And Lee, do you have anything you want to say to people?
Yeah, wish everybody in the chat good luck for tomorrow's game. So at the same time, I'm wishing us all on the panel good luck as well.
There you go.
Hopefully we'll get the run of the ball or whatever it takes to get the win tomorrow. Get us back on track. That'll delight me. I'll soon forget about Europe and the cup final if we win tomorrow. That'll clear my mind a bit, like, you know what I mean? Soon forget them if we get this win tomorrow.
We need it. Last but not least, definitely happy birthday to Dara. And certainly not last but not least, too. Up the Reds, my friends. Up the Reds, my Reds. We will see you all tomorrow, and all the best. For all of us, wish you the well, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.